Oh. You got the notification.
Is it right? The right notification?
Yep. How did he get the fucking special? Wow. The worst part about trying out new characters is playing level 9 computers that are just like literally... They're not like very good, you know what I mean? Like I can still kill them, but it's just like they're so precise with like the things that would never be precise.
Yeah.
So it's like training against them is like kind of pointless sometimes.
Dude, you should check out the fucking how the weight screen looks.
Oh yeah? Okay, let me look at it right now. Is this the weight screen that you have up?
Yeah.
Yum. Okay, let me see. Oh, our mics are on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, dude. So that's when I said, dude, like, you shouldn't walk into a bar with it all out. Like, you should put it at least walk in putting it away, whip it out. Oh shit, are we on?
Oh yeah, we're on, man.
Oh shit,
Damn.
god damn it, dude. We haven't done this in so long. I have no idea how to do this.
How are you,
god,
man?
do we have we got the cameras on and shit too?
We do have the cameras on.
Oh fuck, damn. Well, shit, dude, I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good. You know, this has been a crazy week, crazy month so far. This has felt like a really long month, but every time it's close to the end, I'm just like, all right, actually, that's not enough time.
Yeah, it's for real.
Yeah.
Are things starting to slow down for you at work?
Yeah, I feel like once I got kind of the groove of it, it's slowing down, you know, and like nice. I feel like every time with jobs and stuff, it's always a compromise, you know. So yeah,
it's fucking sucks.
What about you, man?
I'm good, man. Like there was I think like maybe a month ago. Remember, I was like really stressed out about work and shit because I had been. It's such a divide in time in like pursuing passion versus like financial needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like. I feel like I'm always complaining about like first world problems because I have a pretty good job, you know what I mean, and I've afforded like a pretty comfortable lifestyle for myself. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, it's like if you don't love what you do, it's always gonna kind of like task on you. So it's the ebbs and flows, you know what I mean? There's gonna be months where it's like, fuck, dude, I have been like not paying attention enough to work because I've been like really going hard on like the music, the gaming, all that shit. That like you're gonna have to have some months where you're just like, all right, I need to chill out and actually like fucking work hella hard, and then once you like get a good base, then you could be like, all right, I'm gonna take this month off. And luckily May was like my like hunker down month. June I'm kind of coasting, but I know if I fucking coast July and August, it's gonna be tough. So you know I gotta learn the balance. But other than that, man, I'm chilling, dog. At the end of the day, I'm fucking alive. I'm making money, and we get to do stuff that we love. We at least have enough capital to fucking make this a thing. That's all. I can't ask for anything else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
me neither, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. But shit, dude, we haven't done this since January. Do you remember back in the day when we used to do on repeat like every week?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh my god. Well, I mean, now we're more kind of into gaming. You know? And Super Smash, of course, the Super Trash Brothers.
Yeah.
So, but damn, I feel like we're so rusty that we didn't do a proper intro.
Holy shit, you're right, man. Should we do this again? Zanny with the Wayhos in the chat. Appreciate you, dog.
Zanny, what's up, man? Wayho.
I might join y'all at Blarney later. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. But fuck, dude, let's do this the right way, y'all.
Yes.
Welcome to the fucking on repeat podcast. It's your boy Medium Frank
and Dark Ruffalo.
And y'all know why they call him Dark Ruffalo, right?
No. Why did they call me Dark Ruffalo?
Well, it's a play on Mark Ruffalo, and you're brown.
Oh,
so
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's a melanated Hulk.
Yeah, it's the melanated Hulk. We haven't done this in so long. I forgot to think of one, and I was just like, yo, man. And plus, I think I'm running out. I just explained the actual joke.
It's okay, man. It's okay. I mean, it's been so long, like we were saying, you know.
Yeah.
Welcome, chat. Whoever's on chat, man. It's been a while. We're just gonna run down the top 10 releases we have, you know, listened to this year that we really enjoyed. And if you guys, you know, have any suggestions, let us know. We also make a playlist on Spotify that you guys should follow afterwards. That will have basically all our picks, you know, for this year. But Frankie, I don't know. What can you say about this year so far, and like what kind of stuff you've been listening to?
Yeah, man, I think it's pretty indicative that we don't do this podcast that much anymore, because like I don't know, dude. Like for some reason, 2021, I haven't been able to really get out the gates and really listen to a lot of new music, man. And I think it's just like 2020 was like I literally did nothing but listen to music.
Yeah.
That like. Now that we have a little bit more leeway to just do other shit, I've been like doing that, you know what I mean? And on top of that, I was making an album the whole 2020, So it was just like almost like a music overload. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be stuck inside all the time. All I'm gonna do is music related. I'm fucking reorganizing my records. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm buying like shit off Discogs that would never buy normally. You know what I mean? And then like, I listened to so many albums last year. I made
Yeah.
an album. I helped people with their music. Like I helped Chemo with Freaky. You know what I mean? Like there's just so much music going on that like I think 2021 I've like maybe subconsciously made the decision to listen to less new music, like critique music much less, make
Mm.
music much less. Like I haven't really made anything since I dropped the album in February. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like it's been kind of like maybe like a siesta year where like I'm normally always so hyper music focused in 2020 especially that like maybe this year I've been like taking a back seat. You know what I mean? I mean like think about it too. Like we used to do the on repeat podcast even though we covered gaming and like
Mm.
pop culture. At the end of the day the core is music.
Yeah.
Everything we do at the end of the day is the core is music and I feel like we all kind of strayed away from that this year other than
Mm.
you because you're still working on Party Hat, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I'm looking forward to like hopefully this marks the beginning of us getting back to our basics.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No,
What
I
about you?
well, I agree. Like it's weird because I feel like as I've gotten older, I've always kind of felt like, man, I don't listen to music the way I used to, or like I do, like how much I do. But then, oh, whoa, thank you, itty bitty committee. Oh shit, the itty bitty committee is on to us right now. I think they're
Uh-oh.
reviewing our actions past, outside of super trash. So we gotta
Oh
be on our good
man.
behavior.
Yeah, I hope I don't get fined for this,
Yeah,
good?
right. But yeah, well, thank you for the follow though. Thank you for the follow.
No, for real. Thank you for
Yeah.
the follow.
But what I was just saying is that like, but then when I checked my Spotify like yearly stuff, like I did listen to a lot, and what's crazy is I listened to so much, and it's because like I would go on just Discover Weekly, and I did more stuff on my own. Like I tried to be more fit, and that's when I would listen to music. So like, when I would listen to music, I'm always doing something. So I absorb the sounds. I like it. But I never like it wasn't like a time when I would just listen to an album front and back. There's only a few, and then a lot of times when there's a new release, I don't know. It's a weird time too, because like not many rappers, not many like certain genres are releasing in 2020.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of sentiment kind of bled over to 2021, where like the things I'm finding more enjoyable is just like a variety
Yeah.
of things, and like the like artist that's able to put that much variety inside of an album is what keeps me hooked.
Oh
More,
shit. So
yeah.
would you say you're starting to sacrifice continuity more for variety now? Or
Not
cohesiveness
not
for
ex
variety?
Yeah, not exactly. Like it still has to be cohesive.
Mhm.
It still has to be like feel like an album, because like compilation stuff doesn't like hold my interest that much unless I'm at like a social event or something. Um,
Feel you.
and I guess when we go into our list, we'll actually talk about one where like the lack of like a cohesiveness, or like like a message that ties everything together kind of hurt its core, despite it being pretty good, I think.
Got
You
you.
know.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we see the itty bitty committee in the chat
Yeah.
dropping emojis. Again, we need to be very careful what we say. I'll show you like okay, you used 100 channel points for that. I just want
Yeah.
like we need to start to define like the value of channel points on our channel because Wolfie throw that shit around like it's rice.
I know,
So
right?
like oh
Hey,
my god,
man.
but man, like
He's just he's
what
just he's just stunting on us.
I know, bro. It's like him walking into a strip club with 1,000. You
Yeah,
feel me?
right.
Like, God, no. Sheesh. But yeah, dude. Like, with that in mind, it's really like to what we usually do
Mhm.
on this podcast. And if God, this feels so weird because we used to do this all the time, and we
I
don't
know,
ever
right?
do it. And like even for everybody on Twitch right now, like we obviously haven't been promoting this like crazy. We literally are doing this on Twitch so that we could easily record it without editing.
Yeah.
It's going straight to YouTube. You feel me? So, um, We weren't expecting anybody in the chat, so this is cool that people are in there. But what we usually do is every mid-year and every end of year, me and Dark Ruffalo here give our list of our favorite releases, and we say releases on purpose because it's not just albums, it's also EPs, and sometimes we're gonna let in like a single that accompany with its accompanying B-sides, because I think, after we talked about that the other day, if you think about it, some of my favorite Camera Obscura releases are actually singles, because the
Right?
B-sides are like the Super Trooper cover and Roman Holiday and shit like that. Those Camera Obscura songs are actually just B-sides. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what? I think we could include that as long as it has like a B-side. You know what I mean? I think that's
Yeah.
like,
It can't just be like the one song. But I mean, we'll get into that too again, because
yeah,
like
that,
I did
the
say,
definition of that could change.
yeah, I did say that I have someone on here that it's like one song, but then the length of it is, I won't say that's just one song. Like that
Right.
feels like a bigger thing than just a single.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. If it's an epic, it's an epic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like it has to feel like at least some kind of substantial body of work.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do that every mid-year and every end of year. Mid-year we only do our top 10, obviously, because not everything's come out yet. End of year we do 20, and we break it up into 2 episodes. Now don't only do music. However, we also do games and movies, and those are generally run by Zadie DeVito for movies and King Kong Fetty for games. So that I'm sure will be coming soon as well. And yeah, the way we also, like Ruffalo said at the beginning, we accompany this with a Spotify playlist. So you could hear Dark Ruffalo's top 10 of the year so far, one song from each release, including that one long ass song if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
on my list as well, it's going to be one song from each of the 10 releases that I put on that list. And that playlist will obviously grow once we get to the end of the year. So definitely follow that now. Be early. Know version 1, and then we'll talk about which version was better. I mean, I'm such a BuzzFeed whore that I'm like a big list guy. You know that I list everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like judging things and breaking them down. You know what I
No,
mean?
which I gotta say, I do like, and knowing that you do that. Even my sister does that with movies and everything, or like it makes me want to kind of put on like a critic's hat, even if it's
Yeah.
just to myself. So like I know I'm kind of like polishing my way of consuming something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, like I feel like it's a double-edged sword sometimes though, because on one hand, I feel like the more that I do that, the less I could just like enjoy something. You know what I mean? But I think all the positives that come with it is, one, it like forces me to always be thoughtful about my opinions and not just put shit out there and say things and like fucking like post shit or talk to people about shit that I don't actually truly believe. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of things, everybody just regurgitates everything, and when I always rank the things that I love the most, I at least have to come up with like a thoughtful opinion as to why I feel that way.
Yeah.
And then two, it also makes me more like conscious as like a creator of like things that I would look out for. You know what I mean? So as much as sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could just enjoy things for what it is, I also like the mental exercise it gives me,
Yeah, sometimes too, the way I see it, it's like I can't, like I'm less biased when I don't consume as much.
Word.
If
Yeah.
you're listening to a lot, then I think like the good ones naturally surfaces to the top.
Facts. That's a fact.
Yeah, and I guess that's
That's
kind of
fact.
like, and going into like again what I was saying, like where I felt like I wasn't listening to music as much. I think it's not that I don't listen to music as much. It's just like having the time. I don't want to say the time. Like back then when you'd listen to music, you kind of become like a fanboy,
Yeah.
While to me,
Yeah.
like I want something interesting to hear, something that like is either new yet familiar.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what I was saying with the Discover Weekly. I like how like it in a way it expands my music taste because it's a lot of different things, but eventually it just filters out what I like anyways.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's super true.
Yeah.
It's good to be thoughtful about opinions. That's a fact.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that as far as like rating albums and what we'll put in the list today, it's not so much things that I got from Discover Weekly though. I feel like when it comes to reviewing something and seeing what's good out there, it is
Yeah.
based on, okay, let me look at what came out and I'll try these. You
Right.
know, yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, I think that's a great way to do it because, like, sometimes, especially nowadays, it's hard to actually even hear a single that you would like because
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I could speak for myself, I guess. I don't really listen to the radio anymore, and it's not because that I'm against the radio or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just that every place that I go to that I used to listen to the radio on, I could just Bluetooth my own music into. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm not gonna sit through commercials and shit. You feel me? So like,
Mm.
yeah, if it wasn't like playlists on Spotify, that's why they're so important in music now. Like, really, playlists
Mm.
on Spotify, Apple Music, things like curated playlists, the big ones.
Yeah.
Those are the new radio stations. Those are the new gatekeepers. Like when
Yeah.
you're dropping new music, yeah, send your shit to radio stations. But I think the one that you should focus on are the people that run these playlists because that's where the majority of the demographic you're probably trying to hit is on. You know what I mean? So like those
Yeah.
playlists, Discover Weekly, Rap Caviar, fucking Seed, that pop one, like all of these playlists are so important. So just to put some artists on game, man, make sure you get on those. My song airdropped that with Lil Trap Tendo and Chemo. Since that got put on Pollen, like that
Oh
actually
shit,
helped.
Fallen.
Or not Pollen, god damn it. Pollen's the one that I wanted to get on.
Yeah.
Seed is the one I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
the pop one. Like that actually helped us. That's my second most streamed song now because it
Yeah.
was on that playlist for like a week. You know what I mean? So that shit's important. Artists putting you on game there. But yeah, dude. So this is the mid year. We're only doing 10 songs each. I feel like every time we do these, we go way longer than we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we did the end of the year one, we did that for like 4 hours, right? So we ended at like 2 or like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's right. It's
I'd
those-
like to not do that, and that's usually my fault because I talk too much.
No, you know whose fault it is?
Ooh,
Starbucks.
why was it Starbucks' fault?
Because we'd always be drinking the Starbucks energy drinks.
That's
remember?
true. Oh yeah, that's right. We were sponsored by Double Shot. Starbucks Double Shot, man. We just be, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully, what we'll do today is we're each gonna do our top 10. We always alternate, right? I'll give my 10, you'll give your 10, so on and so forth. Hope maybe for the first 10, the first 5, we go super quick on them, so we can spend hella time on the top 5 because I know that's where gonna be most of our opinions come into play anyway. So. Let's try, like, we're going to attempt to do that. Obviously, if we don't and we go long, it is what it is. But I'll try to be more mindful, at least from my part, to kind of keep it moving there. But yeah, anything else you want to say other than giving our lists that or the few albums we listen to that isn't video game music?
Anything I want to say about the list you said?
Or anything else you want to say prior to us giving our lists?
Well, I guess it is that kind of like what you said. Like most of the things I've listened to this year is video game music, man. That's
For
what's
real,
been
man.
resonating with me.
Yeah.
And it does kind of show in my list in some ways. You know, like I feel
Yeah.
like I guess most of the times before it would be hard for me to listen to just instrumentals, and now I feel like I enjoy that. You know, like it kind of colors my world in a different way instead of like being always just in. You know, like engage with like the message or the lyrics of the songs. Instead, you kind of like put it into your own life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and also just like I don't know, I feel like video game music always like resonated with me because of like I guess maybe it's because I went to school for music and shit and I like studied composition, but like it's so like setting actual vibes is like sometimes or actually to me like more important than like the actual words you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I don't know, Nobuo Uematsu, the king of vibes. If you watch 8-bit music theory on YouTube, they do such a great job about breaking down game music or game soundtracks and OSTs and figure out why they work so well sonically. You know what I mean? So
And like
how do we get here?
a lot of instrumentals too, they're like just kind of focus on the emotion, you know, like the sound of it elicits emotion. And then a lot of it, if it's from your childhood, of course, it triggers nostalgia. Which is fucking like one of the strongest feelings you could feel, you know.
Yeah, nostalgia's written albums for me.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess it's just like how would I say this? Like sometimes when there's lyrics, it becomes too intellectualized.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Well,
mean,
shit, man.
that's all I gotta say.
We already went on our first tangent.
Yeah.
So let's do this fucking list. Who's going first?
I mean, who has the advantage? Who has
Oh,
the
let's
coin?
flip a coin.
Yeah.
Let's see. No one's calling it midair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I'll let you call it midair because you did all you made the layouts and stuff. So since you did all the behind the scenes work, you get to call it midair.
Tails.
Tails. Okay, as you can see, I'm just grabbing it from my hand. I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna show it to the camera. Okay. What is this?
It's that heads?
Oh, that's tails.
Tails?
That's the
Okay.
bird because this is a head. God
Oh,
damn
I
it.
see.
Okay. So I go first, huh?
Yeah.
Well, here we go, man. So
Number 10.
if number 10, the Watch Mojo list.
Yeah.
So this is how you can tell this year has been kind of slow for me musically. I'm hoping that more music drops now that like the country's open, you know what I mean, and people could tour. I'm sure we're gonna see during the summer hella people drop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But number 10, and this is how much I had to scrap for 10, is an album that came out today.
Mm.
But I'm already feeling it, and I might be biased because I think I know what some songs are about because I know this person personally.
Oh.
And it's not like we have like any type of relationship today, but this was somebody that I was really, really, really close to in the past. And their original, well, they still DJ, right? So that's still that's their stage name is still their DJ name, which is Ducky. You know Ducky
Yeah,
as
I know
well.
Ducky.
They dropped a side project today called Original. The artist is Original Fuckboy Shit.
Mm.
Do you remember Lil Michaela
Yeah.
on Instagram?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's a fake like person that they live their own. Yeah, it's like its own entity that makes music. That's what OGFBS is. It's Ducky's like alter ego, and the album is called I Don't Ever Feel Okay. You know how much of a fan of Ducky's early stuff I was,
Yeah.
and how I was involved in some of the early stuff. But then they blew up by becoming like an EDM DJ. You know what I mean? Doing like hard style, some dubstep and fucking deep house shit like that. But this side project, I would say, is more of like if The Weeknd was 100 gecs.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
It's like that same like really like high pitched auto tune vocals with really really pop savvy melodies, but with some really like glitchy 808y almost fucking anime EDM-ish but hip hop R&B type beats. And if this would have dropped 2 years ago, I probably would have hated it because I hadn't gotten the primer of slowly coming to understand 100 gecs sound, and then also just like Dorian Electra and shit like that. Some songs I think are about Erica, which means a lot to me, as you know. Yeah, but I haven't really gotten the chance to listen to every single song, listen to every single lyric, but there's 10 songs. I think maybe one of them is like too much for me in terms of like sonically. And I'm sure I'm gonna like this even more as I get to know more of the lyrics and more of the themes. But I think you would definitely like it just knowing your music taste. And also it's Mo. So just someone from the past. Yeah, that's my number 10.
That's awesome, man. I should check that out because we were really big fans of her really early stuff. I kind of fell off later on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they also go by they now.
Oh,
by the way.
Yeah, they.
Yeah.
But yeah, for my number 10 is someone who I'm not like the biggest fan of, and it's like you, music is kind of going slow for me too, because a lot of the things I've been listening to lately, like I said, is curated stuff or my own shit because I'm trying to get something done,
Right.
But this person, I can't. I would say that they're very, very talented. they're very prolific, and people really put it up to a very high standard, or like, put him on a pedestal. But he's also polarizing in a lot of ways, not because he's polarizing as far as his views, but mostly just, there's gonna be some of his haters for his music. And so this album is The Off Season by J. Cole.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even though I put this on this list, I don't know how long it would stay on the list. I think it's good. I think it's good. Like, it starts off with 95 South, and it has a good beat. And like a lot of the instrumentals he used, I would kind of see on a Kendrick album. I could see Kendrick on these stuff, and you know how much I like Kendrick. It's good instrumentation. Let's see. He even used like one of the lyrics in that song says "Sleep is the cousin of death," which I first heard with Kendrick. He said that. Let's see. He's mostly talking about success and stuff like that, and that intro. I really like My Life with 21 Savage and Moray. Again, it's talking about success and getting out of the streets. But I guess the only issue is, like, even though he's good, and at first when the initial listen I liked it, and then the more I listen, like, I feel like there's some songs that I definitely hold like really up here. It's like, okay, I see why people holding him up here, and they compare it to him to Kendrick, when they talk about who's the GOAT. While some songs I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes I just feel like he just comes off as a hater to me.
Yeah.
100%. Because I feel like sometimes he comes from the thing where, like, and like, maybe it's not fair to compare it to Kendrick, but people do. Even though they're not beefing with each other, people like kind of want to see that. I feel like Kendrick, when he talks about his message, like, his message feels like it's deeper, while J. Cole's, it doesn't get that deep to me. But I feel like he feels like he is.
But he feels like it's deep, yeah.
Yeah, but he has really clever bars, and he could rap. But then it's just like, I feel like he kind of looks down on people. While when I listen to Kendrick, I feel like he says he's, gained success, he's out of the ghetto, but it's like that can't leave him. He's very introspective and like inward pointing. While like J. Cole, I feel like sometimes I get a lot of like, I figure it out, like I got poverty and stuff like that.
I always say that, like, the biggest difference between K. Dot and J. Cole is not skill, it's not bars, it's not sonics, it's relatability. Like, I cannot relate to J. Cole. It's like, again, his message is, oh, I've figured it out. I am smarter than you. Whereas Kendrick is like, he's always like, yo, I was fucked up, and you are also fucked up. I was able to figure out at least where I'm at today, like, whatever that means. You could do it too. It just feels like Kendrick is so much more like a shared experience, whereas J. Cole is lecturing me.
That's how I feel. And like,
I also listened to this album, and the thing that I like love and hate the most about this album is that J. Cole is using auto-tune and sounding more modern. I love that he's doing that, because I think every artist should always try to expand their sound, for better or for worse. And I think, like, you should always, and the reason why you should be able to expand your sound is that you're always open to everything, right? Whereas, like, J. Cole literally 2 years ago were shitting on rappers for using auto-tune and all that stuff. It's like, you wouldn't look like a fucking clown right now if you didn't have this whole crusade about how that's killing hip-hop. And now you're doing it. Now that you're doing it, you have the best album I've heard from you in 4 or 5 years. So it's like, all that shit you was talking is actually making you, like, the thing that you were shitting on is making you sound better. I mean, so it's like, it's shit. I want to like J. Cole. I used to be such a humongous J. Cole fan, but this shit, like, I mean, the album's good. It's better than his other albums, but like, I just don't buy. I don't buy it. You know what I mean?
I agree with you there, and I feel like that's why I'm kind of like, I'm on two sides of it, because like, I think it is a good album, but I just don't buy it, like you say. And like, the highlights of it, and before I get to the, like, my favorite song, I guess I'll talk about Pride is the Devil, which I like. Really good beat. But that's like a song that sounds more like Roddy Ricch to me. but it's still good, you know. But then it comes again to the comparing it to Kendrick, where like when they're talking about pride, and Kendrick also had a song about pride, you know, where I feel like I don't know, you guys will just have to listen to it and compare it and to see kind of like the difference of like the tone, I guess. You know, it's like, but I would say Let Go My Hand. That shit is good. I think that's what comes after Pride is the Devil. And I guess like to me what it sounded to me almost like a combination of A Day in the Life of Benjamin Andre, which is like the closing song in Andre 3000's Love Below. You know, he kind of raps and it sounds like a freestyle. And as far as the flow at least, but then the messaging sounds like Fonte. Or Fonte, I mean Fonte. Yeah, more like he's just talking about how like what was it? It's like my son told me to let go of his hand or something like that, and it's just saying how like eventually he'll have to let him go, but then also teach him not to like be weak so he can't be taken advantage of and stuff like that. So those parts are relatable, even though I don't have a kid. You know, I feel like he got introspective there, and I saw him more as a parent more than just like someone who's like shit, you know, a rapper who thinks he's the best rapper. But other than that, like, I don't know, I listen to it more, but I feel like the more I listen to it, the less I find myself compelled to go back to it, you know, like, yeah. That's my number 10.
Number 10. Okay, cool. So my number 9 is also a hip hop album. It's kind of a drop for this group because in 2019 I had their album Sugar at 6, but at 9, and this will likely not be in the top 10 by the end of the year, to be honest with you. It's Brockhampton's Roadrunner New Light. New Machine. I really liked this at first, but I just like ran out of like replay value for it. I don't know what it is, because I actually think the songs are really good. You know what I mean? And I feel like they are getting closer or back more to like their saturation sound. And they have really great features on here, which is awesome. Like Buzzcut, the first song with Danny Brown. Chain On has JPEG Mafia on it. Bankroll has ASAP Rocky and Fergie, but also I think Count on Me also has Rocky and Fergie, but they're just not credited. And I think that the best song on that album, that might be the best song they've ever made, even. Well, actually, I don't know. Fucking Sugar had some fucking bangers. But Don't Shoot Up the Party, I think, was probably the most, like, I don't know, like, the best message I've ever gotten out of Brockhampton. So, you know, I feel like I should like this album more, but I don't know. It's just not really connecting with me. Maybe I'm just tired of, like, alternative hipster rap, you know? Maybe that's what it is. But they're dope, dude. I mean, like, it's probably gonna make my top 20. I doubt it'll be on my top 10 by the end of the year, just because I'm just like not coming back to it so much. But yeah, I think like the songs with the big features on it, and I think "Don't Shoot Up the Party" is probably the songs to for sure listen to on this album. I feel like I get less of each member individually on this album than I did on Sugar. I feel like on Sugar, everyone's or sorry, not Sugar, Ginger. Yeah, Ginger's their album. Sugar's the song. Yeah. Sugar's their best song. Yeah. Ginger is their album. I'm tripping, man. I feel like on Ginger, I felt more of like the uniqueness of each member. You know, like I'm like, oh, that's Bareface's part. Oh, that's Mike Champion's part. Oh, that's Kevin Abstract's part. You know, whereas in this album, they're all kind of starting to feel like one person. And you know, I think that it took away like the replay value because it just sounds like a really long song every time. Instead of it being like, holy shit, look, there's 12 people on this song and they each bring like their own flav, you know? Yeah, so, you know, good album, not as good as Ginger. We'll see what happens to it the rest of the year for me.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I would add things to that, but I'll do that later.
I see. So, okay.
Yeah. So
not that you add anything to any of my selections. I feel like I make the podcast so long because I actually like respond to yours.
Well, I mean, I feel like
I'm just
a lot of times if I haven't listened to it, then I don't have much to say, you know. So
I'm just playing. It's all good.
It's all good. So let's see. For mine, number 9, it's that one song that's 28 minutes long.
Oh Lord.
right? And it's not gonna be for everyone.
Yeah,
It's
it's
probably
28 minutes long.
yeah, it's probably gonna be for nobody. You know, when I first listened to it, it wasn't for me. I was like, okay, like
What made you persist and persevere on their 28 minute song?
what made me persist?
Yeah.
I think it's because my love for this band
Okay.
and being a purist. Like to
Mhm.
me, it's like they could like make the shittiest sound, and I'd probably be like just blind enough to be like, that's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's because it's Death Grips.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so they came out with a single. Well, it's weird because this is not the first time they've done this. They do this a lot. I feel like they do kind of like a jam session, and there's like, we're gonna record it, we're gonna release it. I don't care about my fans, you know. I don't care about anyone. It's like we're just gonna put it out there. If they're dumb enough, they'll listen to it and they think it's amazing. I feel like that's their whole mentality about everything.
Yeah.
But when they do come out with an album, I'm just like, this is amazing. Like I get so much replay value from them because at first it's challenging, you know, and then I listen to it more and I feel like I just get more of like what they're trying to express. And yeah, like I said, this feels like a jam session. They just were fucking around, and being in, you know, having done a lot of jam sessions like not too long ago, a couple years ago. There's a time when me and my friends would just jam and jam. And there's a lot of times when we record something and we're just like, this is amazing. And it is like 20 minutes long, you know? And then we never make anything out of it. We never make an album. We just like break up because we're just like, all right, you know, I guess that's it. I guess like, yeah, it's just very crazy. It's a lot of repetitions from MC Ride. You know, just doing some kind of effects on his voice. Just a lot of crazy drums, you know. Yeah, so it's and it's like MC Ride is one of those guys where like when he expresses something, it just feels so genuine. You know, like he could, oh, it's like, damn, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, but my criticism though for it is just like maybe it is too challenging, you know, the first listens. Like not for me, I would use it if you're like trying to get energy out there, trying to like go for a run or something. And the other thing is just that the dynamics don't change much. I feel like if they broke it up a little bit and there's more like loud here, quiet here, it'll be much more easier to listen to. But I feel like I just watched like a fucking like The Irishman with this one because I had to do in sittings, you know.
Yeah, man. You know, my relationship with Death Grips is hella funny because I like Death Grips. I think
Yeah.
they're fucking dope. But I also like think like Death Grips diehard fans are also like thinking too hard on them too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you. I'm just saying like the Fantano boys out there.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if it really means all this shit. Yeah.
I
Like-
don't know though. Like I feel like with
Because I feel like they're trolling y'all. Like I feel like
they
Death Grips
definitely-
trolls the diehards. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
man.
they definitely do, and you could, in a way, part of their like genius is their like ability to, I don't know, just get people online to do something, you know, like market them somehow. You know, they got somebody to like vandalize Trump's star on the Hollywood Bowl and like say
That I'm good with. Yeah.
yeah, and then just be like, yeah, because I listened to Death Grips, you know, like, or I was listening to Death Grips while doing it, you know, like I get it. I feel like they do troll, but at the same time, MC Ride is like past 40. He's at just that point where, and he like they're all creative. Like I think his name's Zach Hill, one of the best drummers out there. They're keyboardists, you know, just knows how to like add the right samples and stuff like that. I think they're definitely brilliant, despite like a lot of the, even though what they make is like unpalatable and very like jarring, you know. Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah.
Well, my explanation of this next one is not going to seem as cool anymore because because this one I was also going to say, man, I like this because it challenges me. But if you listen to the album, it's not challenging in the way Death Grips is, so this just completely undercutted this next album. And it's fucking called, I don't, what's it called? If I Could Make It Go Quiet by Girl in Red. So I found, man, I feel like dumb even like talking about this album now, but
Why?
because it's like cringy TikTok shit. But I found out about this artist through TikTok, where I found out about Sam Truth through TikTok last year too. So I'm not even discounting TikTok as a way to discover artists. You know what I'm saying? But this one was like one of those TikToks that all the cringy girls do that I'm just like fucking throwing up all over. You know what I mean? But the one song that that they use in those TikToks, if you take away like the girls doing fucking cringy shit to it, it actually sounds pretty like decent, and the chorus is really, really fucking catchy. Yeah, the artist name is Girl in Red. They're from Norway, and you know how I feel about Norwegian music. I'm just like, all like so many of my favorite bands come from Norway. So many favorite acts come from Norway. So as soon as I found out that she was from Norway, I was like, all right, I'll listen to the album. And then as soon as I'm about to listen to the album, Song Exploder, which is one of my favorite podcasts, drops an episode of them talking to her about doing the same song that I'm alluding to, Serotonin. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give this a chance. And the song Serotonin is really good. Anytime like a little teenage white girl raps, I cringe. So like the rapping parts, I'm a little like whatever with. And then there's like more songs on the album that are like so much more like pop punk focused with like Avril Lavigne-esque lyrics that I'm like, God damn, this sucks. Like the first time I listened to this album, I was like, this fucking sucks. But then like the songs that are good had such catchy hooks that I would keep coming back to just listening to them. And then what I realized is that like the reason why I think I like this album so much is it forces me to like confront the cringy shit and act that like younger artists do, and then actually like get over that and listen to the idea they're trying to portray. And even if they're not the most eloquent or like their thoughts aren't the most complete because of their lack of experience in just life, the core idea is actually really cool and honest and earnest. And it like it's almost like an exercise for me to stop like judging people and judging things that I would normally deem fucking corny or cringy, and actually get to the root of what they're trying to portray. Because at the end of the day, artists again are just trying to connect with people in the best way they know how. So it's been kind of like an exercise for me to listen to that album and put like my opinions of a cringy teenage girl to the side and actually listen to the story they're trying to tell and listen to the sonics that they're creating, because she also produces like half of the stuff. It actually ends up being pretty good, and even like a couple of the songs on the album, like Serotonin, was also like co-produced by Phineas O'Connell, Billie Eilish's older brother, who produces all her stuff. So it makes sense why it kind of like drew me in, you know. And like I don't know, man, like some of the songs will immediately make you cringe at first because you're like, man, this is the shit that I used to write when I was 15. And then you find out, oh, she's in her late teens. Like, yeah, that's what she's writing. Damn. It doesn't mean it's bad, you know what I mean? It's just a time capsule of where they're at. And if I listen to like my old shit, it would make me feel the same way that I feel here. But I remember what the core story was behind the song that I wrote, and I think that's cool. Let me fucking put the cringiness to the side and actually hear what this kid's trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's challenging in that way. The album's pretty good. And she also won like an award this year and stuff. So can't wait to see how they grow as an artist. I just got so spoiled with Billie Eilish sounding so mature at 16, 17, that when I hear somebody that's like 19, 20 doing that stuff, I'm just like, ah. But then I remember that's the shit I wrote too. So, you know.
It's funny though. They're 19 or 20?
I think they're like they wrote the song Serotonin when they were 19, and then it got big when they were like, I think they're 22 now.
Okay,
but so it was like a collection of songs that they wrote over time that they just released this year.
Okay, because I thought like you mean kind of like how, you know, like teens in like when we were writing stuff in Camera Shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, like same vibes though. That's what I'm saying. Like I think like some of the Camera Shy songs just like at its surface is like, or at face value is cringy because like a lot of the lyrics are immature. The sound is immature, but I remember the core idea, and I think that core idea is so cool as fuck. It's
So
just we didn't have the experience to like write it properly. You know?
yeah, but well, what's the core idea though for this one? Girl in Red, you said?
Girl in Red is the name of the artist. It's If I Could Make
Yeah,
It Go Quiet. The whole album is
yeah.
essentially them dealing with a lot of mental health issues and like
Uh,
go and like how their therapist helped them get through hella shit.
I see.
Um, there's some songs like fucking horny lovesick mess. That song, like when I see the title, I'm like Jesus. And I hear the music, I'm like that's cool. And then I hear some of the lyrics, I'm like Jesus. But I get
Yeah,
it. And then after a while, it's like wait, the hook's catchy enough, the music's good, and I get what they're saying, and I'm actually like yeah, I feel that way too. And I really felt that way when I was younger. I'm like that's actually fucking good storytelling. That's good art. So
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say too. Like as far as TikTok, like so many people are getting um
yeah, we
noticed
need to
off of
get on that.
TikTok. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
Pierre where I kind of
Yep.
discovered through that.
Yep.
So
Hungry
it's
Hungry Hippos got hella big because of TikTok.
yeah. So it's not like people coming from TikTok have like no talent. Like Bella Porch came out with a song recently, and like I don't think
Mhm.
it's the best song, but I was showing it to you. It's like wow, like for someone making
Yeah.
faces on TikTok, like this is a smart move.
Yeah.
I was surprised, but yeah,
Yeah, I
but
remember the music video. You showed it to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. I mean, I'll definitely have to check that out too. I'll definitely have to check out your playlist.
Yeah.
Um,
Link in the bio. Link in the bio.
yeah. I guess for my number 8, I haven't spent that much time with this album yet, but I already know I like it a lot, and I actually sent it to you today, you know.
Mhm.
Did you
Oh
get
shit! I
to?
didn't even get the chance to.
Oh,
I didn't even get the
dude,
chance to click it.
you're gonna love it, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. It's
Okay.
called Lemontopia by Dev Lemons. Have you heard of
Okay.
them?
Cool. No.
First time I've heard of them, they just popped up on my feed, and
Mhm.
I think it's just really it comes off really cute, like cute lyrics. Their first song is called "You Don't Do Laundry,"
Mhm.
and kind of reminds me of it kind of like when it starts, like their harmonies together, and like the song is with Stevie Power, so I don't know how much like who wrote what, but it was
Yeah.
giving me some like modern day Pet Sounds vibe.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
That's
it's
sick.
yeah, the harmonies are so Beach Boys, and it's like um it's just building up, and then suddenly it kind of turns into almost like a Lily Allen song. you know
Oh.
yeah, I think you
Okay.
really like them. They have really good
Yeah.
beats, really good instrumentals. It also reminds me of Zach Villar, and
Yeah.
his album was my number one last year,
Last year.
Cardboard City. Where they kind of combine hip hop influences. Their songs sound indie, lo-fi. Yeah, I guess I would compare it as if like their style seems bedroom pop, Tyler the Creator.
Okay. All
Or,
right.
and they're not exactly rapping. I guess she kind of does sort of rap, but it doesn't really count. I feel like it just feels like
Mhm.
something you'd also hear from like Adventure Time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, on the songs, there's only like 4 songs I remember. Um, but yeah, I think they're all good, man. I think out of all these songs, or out of all the album picks I have that you haven't heard yet, I think you're definitely gonna gravitate towards this.
Well, you caught my interest.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
listen to it. I'll check out your playlist, and I'll
Yeah,
make sure to listen to your favorite song from that album as an
yeah, dude.
introduction to the rest of the album.
And I'll also say, this is something that I know is gonna climb my list.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, sometimes some albums you just have that feeling. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That Ducky Side project one, I'm sure is gonna
yeah.
climb up. Oh yeah.
All
Well,
right.
dope. I'm gonna try to do this one and get all of my thoughts out, but I think within the next like 10, 15 minutes, I'm gonna have something delivered and I have to go
Okay.
answer the door. So when that happens, I'll let you know. But
Okay.
my next entry in our mid-year special is gonna be the first of 2 K-pop albums on my
Mm.
list. as y'all know, I'm a K-pop fan. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. I love pop music. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can say whatever y'all want. But when it comes to K-pop, I usually like solo acts more because they generally don't come through that like K-pop crew boot camp and the
Yeah.
fucking like companies that like completely manufacture their sound and aesthetic. But I still also like the groups because at the end of the day, if it fucking sounds good, it fucking sounds good. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And this is from probably one of my favorite K-pop groups of all time. You also just did a dance to one of their old songs, TT. This is Taste of Love by Twice.
TT.
Yeah, man. I still think TT is their like funnest and my favorite song
Mm-hmm.
out of their discography, but I think Taste of Love is their best full project, and it's like really concise. 6 songs, I believe it's like 20 or no, yeah, 17 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one bad song, Scandal, and you could tell Scandal is just made for those cringe girls that I just said that I need to understand more.
Mm-hmm.
That song just sucks ass though. But every other song on this is really good. I think First Time is probably their second best song they've ever made. And at the end of the day, there's not much to take away in terms of like meanings and stories with this because they're the K-pop group, so they were genetically modified like your new
Yeah.
characters. But it's still fucking good music. They're still really fun like songs. Their aesthetic is always fun, happy-go-lucky, and I just love K-pop, man. And yeah, if you're gonna listen, if you need some like fucking pop songs, like some pop songs, listen to Twice's fucking Taste of Love. It's really not gonna take too much of your time for sure. And yeah, I think First Time, that's the song that's gonna be on the playlist for me
Yeah.
for sure. I think that song could be a fucking humongous song in America. You know what I'm saying?
With it being K-pop, was there a sound barrier there? Do you get what they're singing about? Because I know sometimes they do English, and then you kind of get what it is based on the chorus. But I don't know. What would you say?
Yeah, there's enough English lyrics in their songs to kind of get the gist of it, but at the end of the day, like I think people that are like, "Oh, I can't listen to other music because they're not in English," are lazy, oftentimes Americans anyway, and I just don't give a fuck about your opinion
Yeah.
because it's like they're the type of people to like a song and not learn about the artist anyway,
Yeah.
so we're not even having the same conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when people are like real like music heads, and I'm not trying to sound like an elitist or anything like that, but it's just like if you're really like about the art, you'll learn about the artist. You know what I mean? And if you're not willing, if you really hear like a song that really like catches you and is in another language, whether it's an Asian language or like French or whatever, because I think there's also something to be said about that. When a song's in Korean or Japanese, people are less likely to be like to give it a chance because it's in that kind of language. Whereas if a song is in Spanish or if a song is in French, they'll be like, "Oh, I'll still fuck with this. I don't need to understand the words." The only time it's a problem is when it's J-pop or K-pop. So I think there's a bit of fucking racism there at the end of
Yeah,
the day
there
too.
is, man.
So anyway, like I think it's one of those things where it's like if you're gonna look up lyrics for any artists, Twice isn't the kind of artist that you really need to look up the lyrics for because you'll look up the lyrics and be like, okay, cool, it's like a standard pop song. There's no real message behind it or anything like that. It's just a happy pop song, and I think the world needs more of that because everyone's trying to make the next fucking like soliloquy that will break everyone's heart and shit, and I think that's a big reason why everyone's so sad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need a balance of happy and sad songs.
Yeah.
I also prefer more like sad songs, but I think there's so much more than that than happy music because it's so much harder to write a happy song than it is a sad song. Let's just be honest. So when a pop group could put out really good happy music, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes, I guess for me, I haven't given much K-pop a chance. Not that I'm against it. It's just because it is like coming from a lot of TikTok, and it feels like a trend. But I don't know. I'll have to see, man, because I feel like if people are talking about it, there's got to be a reason why, and I at least need to give it a chance.
Yeah, man. People are just hella late, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
there's been like a select group of us that's been K-pop and J-pop fucking heads in message boards since the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And I gotta say, like for me, I'm mostly used to Japanese type of music more because of anime, because of stuff like that. Um, and like yeah, even though I didn't know what they're saying, you can just feel it. You know, you kind of like
Yeah,
it's
for
music.
sure.
You know,
Yep.
it's like it's all kind of based on emotions for the most part. So you like sometimes it's even better because I like put my own meaning into it. You know, like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah, man. I think that's like the beautiful thing about music is it's an art form. It's not a
yeah,
language. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
yeah,
there's many ways to enjoy it. You know, it's not just through the words. And I think people
mm,
are, and I think words are so important. I really do. I
yeah,
really, really do. But I think people are like hold it to too. They overrate the
yeah.
lyrics. I think.
I
Yeah.
get sometimes too though. I feel like when it comes to like pop groups, it's harder for me to relate. You know, because I feel
Yeah.
like
I
yeah,
mean, it's not like I relate to any of the Twice songs either. Yeah. I mean, it's just,
yeah, yeah.
sometimes you need an escape.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. How's you think it would be good if I say my seventh or
I
this is
think you
what
could go through it.
okay.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, well for my number seven, you actually know this artist.
Mhm.
And this is just something I like to put on to, you know, to have a chill day. And I've been listening to it a lot recently because like sometimes when I'm working I can't listen to something that has words. It's hard, you know?
Yeah.
But if there's
Yeah. That's a
music,
fact.
yeah, if there's music, I can feel it. I'm just like, oh shit, you know, like when the strings come in, when the guitars and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like, all right, I could have thoughts in my head and still be experiencing this like song I'm hearing.
Right.
And this EP is called Jams EP.
Oh
Luna
yes.
Lee. Luna Lee.
Yeah.
So
My queen.
yeah, I gotta say, man, I am so envious of her production and the
It's so
sounds
good.
that she has and the instrumentation, you know. And you told me that she like does everything, right?
Everything. Hmm.
Even the
Even
recordings
the harps. Even the recording.
and
The harps.
yeah, she
Yeah.
has
Oh.
like a doesn't she have like a what is it called, a harp jam or
Oh,
something? Yeah, harp jam.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not just harps, but
Right.
I gotta say, like I really like this experience, this listen, this playthrough. A lot of R&B sounds, but still has that like indie lo-fi sound, you know. And
That's like
it's
the sound I want to have so bad.
same here, dude. And then
Oh.
the arrangements of how like the instruments come and go and play together are just so good when the like the strings come in. You know, the strings are so warm and so
Yeah.
full. You know, like, and you can tell it's real, or maybe it's not real, but it sounds so real.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like, what did I say? That doesn't sound modern as far. Oh yeah, the mixing too, because we talked about that. It's like you know sometimes a band will have like the pipettes or not the pipettes. Is it the pipettes? Yeah, where they make
Sound too
something.
glossy.
Yeah, it's too glossy. This one
Yeah.
just sounds so intimate and warm
She
throughout.
understands like feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the Pipettes had the sound, they sounded like they were
Mm.
60s, but they didn't feel like it. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas Lucky Soul feels like it, and like
Mm.
Luna Lee feels like that era. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And then Baby Shred, it's
Oh, that's my favorite one to be
yeah,
honest.
it's so good, dude.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing I would say that's a little bit of a criticism, like it's still enjoyable sound, but then over
Mhm.
time, the more you listen to it, and the more you know that all these songs are basically just instrumental versions of her actual songs, you do just miss her vocals. And without the
Yeah.
vocals, I feel like it does feel incomplete. They're
Mhm.
not like Baby Shred. I could listen to that instrumentals and feel like okay, that it's meant for that. Cloud Castle. It's like all right, I feel like I'm starting a video game. You know, this is amazing.
Yep.
But the other songs, they don't feel like a Final Fantasy instrumentals or songs made for you know the reason of not having lyrics in it at all. That some
Yeah.
of them just feel like yeah, I guess
There were supposed to be words here. Yeah.
yeah, and it made me appreciate more when I hear soundtrack songs that don't have words because they're able to like say so much, you know, that you
Without,
don't need
yeah.
words. Like I don't ever
That's
want to
true.
hear like my favorite instrumentals with words. I don't
Yeah.
want anyone to rap on it. Like you can
Yeah.
make your mix, you can make a remix or
Mhm.
something, but I'm
Yeah.
always gonna feel like that's below the original, you know, like
Yeah. That's true.
yeah.
That's very true, man. And the crazy thing is, I had that at number 10 until this morning,
Mm.
and I think the reason was the same thing. Like, I feel like there when I think it almost like hurts this album that Luna Lee has such an amazing voice,
Mm-hmm.
and that she produces songs that really, really not only sound really great,
Yeah.
but provides a platform for the vocalist. You
Mm-hmm.
know, she is such a great producer and such a great songwriter that
Mm-hmm.
that the production that the instrumentals that she put out is like made to make someone sound the best they've ever sounded singing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like I also like was like so close to putting this in my top 10, but that
Mm.
similar like critiques for it is that like it's almost like too good of a production for it to not have a full song on it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, why didn't you just give me this beat? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I will fuck this beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not one of those where it's like you hear it, it's like it was meant to be a piece of music to
Yeah.
just feel atmosphere. You know what I mean? It's it was like it was the best beat I've ever heard
Mm-hmm.
that is asking to be sung or rapped on that isn't
Yeah.
sung or rapped on. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And I guess,
exactly.
well, I was just gonna say too, on that point, on that note, um, it with these songs not having her voice on it, despite how amazing they are instrumentally, it doesn't feel like it's not her sound until she's on it singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Where,
that's
like,
true.
this could have been a different band,
Yeah,
you know?
I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, because I do feel like, especially when you listen to like her album, like I think she is kind of cultivating a sound because I feel like it's if a shelf life band grew up with hip hop like I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
I feel like it's like if La Coupe was like fucking raised on Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so I do feel like she is creating somewhat of a sound, but yeah, I do agree that I agree in the sense that like it would be so much more memorable if she like wrote a song over it. You know?
Yeah, but what would you say if you heard this without knowing it's Luna Lee? Would you be like, I think that's Luna Lee?
Maybe it's because maybe I'm biased because I'm
Yeah.
a stan and I've been following her for like 3 years on Instagram.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that she's been doing that sound for a minute now, and I feel like I've tried to emulate that sound so many times, even on this most recent album, that I don't know. I think maybe I could pick it out. I don't know if
I
anybody
see.
else can. But I think the reason why I could pick it out too, though, is that I have very specific influences. You know what I mean? I grew up on hip hop and indie pop, you
I
know?
see.
And I think Luna Lee did too, and it kind of shows in her music, so that's why I could pick it out.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe for like a person that didn't grow up on indie pop, they probably wouldn't be able to pick it out. Or
Yeah.
if you only grew up on indie pop, you'd probably, you know, not be able to pick it out either.
I see. I see. But
So I
yeah.
have no idea if I have enough time to do this next one, but we might as well give it a shot. And if
Alright.
I have to stop, it's all good. But my next one is probably the best hip hop album that's dropped this year. And again, maybe I'm biased because I just like really fuck with like the UK hip hop scene so much. But this is one person from my favorite hip hop group out of the UK, V-Bar. This is one person in that group. They're named Geordie, and this is their debut kind of EP called SMH. Shake My Head. Yeah, man, like V-Bar is just like to me the cream of the crop when it comes to UK hip hop. And I say hip hop on purpose and not grime. You know what I mean? Because grime is its own scene. While the group has folks that like dabble in both, V-Bar by and large is much more hip hop based than grime. Jordy also, like, out of everybody in that group, probably has the best bars. You know what I'm saying? Like Skits and V-Bar has like the vibes. Poet is like the most like smooth, but Jordy has like the bars. And he really fucking shows it here. He has songs that kind of like range from like UK drill to like fucking maybe like trap R&B kind of influence type songs, and then more boom bap soul type shit. And that's actually my favorite kind of sound that Jordy has on this album. I think it's one of those things where it's like it sounds cohesive, but I think there's some variety into it as well, as we were talking about earlier. And my favorite song on this album is called Therapist, and that's like more the boom bap one. Obviously, I'm much more of like a soul boom bap type hip hop fan. And Therapist is so dope, man. Like the euphemism he keeps using in all of his in the verses is that he's like, I told my therapist about you. You know what I mean? And he just talks about like his mom and then his girl and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really, really nice song where I think it's also helped by kind of, and the deliveries here. I will be right back,
all right. Well, hope you guys are having a good night. Like I'm saying, we're just going over the top 10 music releases of this year, 2021. If you guys have any suggestions, just let us know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the way we listen to music has changed, like we were talking about earlier. I usually just listen to like instrumentals, a lot of Final Fantasy X. I made a mix called Blizzaga Mix. You guys should check it out on Spotify. But yeah, I'm wondering how you guys think so far. I know Frankie sent this song to me, the Therapist song they talking about with Jordy, and it's pretty good. I just haven't really checked it out much. But yeah, let's see. Going down the list, just to recap, I remember Frankie's number 10 was freaking Ducky. Oh wait, but it goes by a different name, I think. I need to look back. I already forgot. But for me, number 10 so far is The Off Season by J. Cole. Number 9, Gmail and the Restraining Order by Death Grips. 8, Lemontopia by Dev Lemons. And 7's Jams EP by Luna Lee. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, man. If you guys are new to the channel, we are called Wave Gang. We are welcome to WGWW TV, Wave Gang Worldwide TV. And what we do here is a lot of gaming, a lot of music podcasts. We run the Holographic Sessions, which is a live interview podcast / music performance where we have an artist come in here, and what they do is, perform for you guys, usually from their latest release. I would put a lot of their albums in my top 10, but then I'd feel like it'd be too biased, But that's geared to a lot of people who are more local. And so if you guys are from the Bay Area and you guys know any local artists, or if you are a local artist, just, DM us on Instagram would be the best place to reach us. At the Holographic Children on Instagram, and Medium 37 Frank or Frank on Instagram. Go DM us. Other than that, on Spooky Dookie Boys, that's on Mondays. That's with Medium Frank and Zanny DeVito. But on Monday this week, I'm gonna be guessing with them because we're playing Corpse Party. And the last time we were there, man, we were playing for like an hour and we just got fucking the game over screen, man.
We were playing for like 4 hours.
Yeah, right.
That was, dude, man, and I think it's because of one of the bad decisions we made early in the game. I think what would be funny, we should do this time. Every decision that comes up, we do the exact opposite. Right? I think that'd be a funny. Right. Like that's because like it's gonna look like we're trying to retread material if we do it again next week. Mm-hmm. Maybe we do the spin of doing exactly the opposite of what we did last week. True. We'll see where that takes us.
But yeah, you were talking about Jordy, which you did send that to me, that Therapist song. Dude,
man, that song is so fucking good, dude. And like, yeah, I was like, I think with this album, it has enough variety in sounds where it could, again, range from UK drill to boom bap to where you'll be able to kind of catch, something should catch your attention and you'll be able to get through the whole project. The crazy thing about it, too, is it's super short. It's also 7 minutes, or 7 songs, fucking 20 minutes long. Yeah, so it doesn't you know what I'm saying? It doesn't outstay its welcome. Jordy is so good at being clever enough with his bars to show his skill, but is also concise enough to get his fucking point across in a 2-minute song. You know what I'm saying? Like, that Therapist song is 2 minutes, 52 seconds, and 52 seconds of that is a sample of, I think, his mom leaving him a voicemail. So it's 2 minutes, and he got so much out in that span of time. Yeah. And I think it's like there's something to be said because again, like there's rappers that just like say too much shit, or songwriters that it takes 4 minutes for you to understand what the fuck the song is about. You know, I think, and some of my favorite artists do that. Like Kendrick does that, where he'll do a whole song and at the end he'll be like, "But it was because it was him." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool. But sometimes when everyone tries to do that, it's like, wait, we're just listening to a bunch of songs that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think Jordy is able to get his fucking thought across. So like the best part of this, the reason why this album works for me, and I think it's the best hip hop album this year, is that there's enough variety sonically. The bars are fucking smart and full of skill. There's great hooks, and then the message gets put across. So many fucking hip hop albums this year just don't get their fucking message across. Maybe it's because they don't have one.
Damn, dude, calling them out.
I'm saying. And yeah, dude, I think that Therapist song specifically, I think you'd love.
Yeah.
But I showed a bunch of songs to Chemo the other week too, and Chemo's all about this album now too.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah.
So check it out, man, because I've only checked out the Therapist song, and I was like, this is really good. But
Yeah.
I just, I haven't had the chance to listen to it, or didn't
Yeah, I
really
sent
give
it
it
to you
a chance.
today. Yeah, I sent it to you today, so I'm sure you
Was
didn't
that
have the
today?
time. That was today, I think, or yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, man. I think it was
Yeah,
yesterday.
you still didn't have enough time. You know what I mean, to like get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, and I was like, when I looked at it too, it's like, oh, it came out this year, I could use it. But I was like, I wish, man, I wish I jumped
Yeah.
on it sooner.
Well, listen, you have time for the end of the year. I think you'd
Yeah.
really like this album, and again, it gets out of your way fast.
But
so.
what would you compare it to as far as like, what kind of fans would it draw in?
I think it would, like, if you like Isaiah Rashad, if you like IDK, if you like Smino, if you like fucking, I think like, yeah, I think it's mostly like if you like a lot of the artists that's on Dreamville, that's not J.
Yeah.
Cole, and if you like TDE, I think you'll like this.
Yeah.
But coming from like a British, like from a UK point of view too, because
Uh-huh.
that's another reason why I love it too, is just like the it's almost like a study of anthropology. You know what I mean, like you're learning the UK slang, you're learning how they talk, their accent, and like just like the like you'll realize that people like hoods in the UK is the same. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think part of the appeal too is it's so foreign
Yeah.
that you get a peek into another culture, but through through a vehicle that you're really familiar with, so it's not like culture shock,
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, because when I listened to Therapist, I was like, oh, okay, it's like someone British. But like, I guess most of the British songs or like hip hop I would listen to would be like Slow Tie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't give it a chance, because I feel like it was kind of. And you said V-Bar, right? I haven't really given V-Bar a chance to, but I feel like whenever I think of like what's big in the UK right now, it's like grime.
Well, yeah, because that's like almost like its own genre,
Yeah, that I thought it
Yeah.
was like the other parts of the album would be more like that. I think it's just the association of the accent, So
Yeah. Yeah, the beauty, like I actually like, as much as I love the UK grind scene, I'm like, and that's how I got introduced to UK rappers in general, was
Yeah.
through grime. Because like at the end of the day, even like the streets, that's a grime artist. You know what I mean? Because it all started with Garage, they started rapping on it, and they started doing 140 BPM, and that's what grime is. You know what I mean? So as much as I love grime, and that was my introduction to a lot of my favorite UK rappers, I think their hip hop scene is so much more interesting right now because
Yeah.
of V-Bar, Sant and Dave. You know what I mean? Like hella, there's like really great artists. Jay, hella people that's coming out of like the UK hip hop scene that's like way more interesting, and their R&B scene. So yeah.
And you said this is what you think is the best hip hop. You said hip hop album so far.
Hip hop album.
You think
Yep.
this is gonna go up anytime soon, or just
Yeah,
gonna
I
keep-
think this is gonna go. This also came out a week ago. This came out on the
Yeah.
11th.
Oh,
So I've only had a week to listen to it, and it's already this high on my list. With a lot of like really good rap albums, you have to listen to it multiple times to get like your full meanings out of it. So I'm sure this is gonna keep going up, and there's songs on here that I know I'm just gonna put on, and that's gonna be so important for it to rise in my list. Is how, like, if there's a few songs that I'll always put on, this album will always be top of mind for me.
I see.
Like with Soccer Mommy last year, 5 songs from that album I would listen to almost every day that year. And it came out in February. Usually when albums come out early in the year, it kind of hurts them because you kind of forget about it by the end of the year. the albums that stick. That's why I think singles are at the end of the day are still so important. Like if you only have good singles, obviously your album's trash, and you need substance. But at the end of the day, you need a strong single that'll get you back there. Because I'm not going to listen to the deep cuts every day. You know what I mean? But the singles I'll probably go back to often. So I think Jordy has a great chance of being at the top of my list, towards the top of my list by the end of the year, because there's like 3 songs that I'll always put on throughout the year. You know?
Okay. No, I agree with you there though, as far as like freaking
Replayability.
Yeah, replayability, because like you gotta have the hits, but then you gotta have a song that I always would skip before, but then the more it comes across, it's like, holy shit, I like this more than everything else on this album.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man. Something I need to check out, like I said. But for my number 6 is this is the one where I was ask you whether this qualifies, because it's just a single on the B side, you know. But and like I'm kind of biased with this person, because like I feel like I imagine this person to be a certain way, or like maybe the way he comes across on his IG, he's a certain way. But it's Something About You by Idris.
Man, I actually have put that on my list to listen to it for this, like in preparation for this, and I didn't get to it, but I hear so many good things about it. Filipino.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. He's Filipino.
Yeah.
You know, and he seems hella cool as fuck, because the way I see him, it's like this is basically either like a combination of Kuya Dale and Kuya Ryan. Yeah. And he wears a grill. You know, he dresses like Kuya Ryan, but he wears a grill.
You know what I'm saying? He's so cool.
And then like on his IG, he would like show how much he loves his, like, I guess, wife and kid. You know, so it's like, man, I see myself in this guy, like, well, not in him. Pause.
Oh, hey, yo.
But I see myself as this person in a way, like, where I hope my career would be. You know, where like, you know, it's still a very simple life, but like you get to make dope music as your living. You know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this music, even though I feel like I'm biased, you know, because like part of like being an artist is the overall package in a way. You know, when you consume their music, you also have to consume the images they put out there. It's like part of their whole, like, what's the word for it? Like illusion, if you may. Right. But the single Something About You just sounds almost like a prefab Sprout song. You know, it sounds like it came from the 80s, you know, a lot of synths, guitars. The way he sings kind of reminds me of Kuya Ryan sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I saw the music video for it. It's pretty funny. Just because he would like add things in it, like, yeah, that's sexy or something like that. And I was like, damn, I've been seeing Kuya Ryan saying this shit.
Hell yeah.
But you know, I'm a huge fan of indie bedroom pop stuff. He kind of sounds like a mixture of like Ariel Pink when it comes to like the synths he uses. You know, he gets that right vintage sound. Kind of sounds like Apple Orchard in some places, like Belle and Sebastian in some places, because he has like a feature in this song. What's his name? Freaking, did I write it down? It's like Dent something. I guess I could look it up. But anyways, when he comes in, he sounds like Stevie Jackson from Belle and Sebastian, you know?
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Like, it's a fun song. It's, you know, the music video, just them going to, like, the woods and having a cabin and stuff like that. And I feel like, you know, what he wrote it about is kind of like his wife. You know, like, she's featured in the music video. I think whoever the feature is, you know, has his, like, girlfriend or whatever. But, I don't know.
Rodney said, best album of all time is from a band I know from 2009. Soccer Mom from San Jose.
Damn, dude. Some deep
Rodney,
cuts,
I appreciate you. Which one, bro? Is it Party at Pete's or Orgy, man? Wait, 2009. That must have been Party at Pete's, actually.
Wait, what's that? I just wanna fuck you.
Yeah, that's from Party at Pete's in the
High School Romance, right?
High School High School Love Story. High School Love Story. Oh my god, man. Rodney with the deep cuts. My bad, man. Go keep going.
No, it's all good. I would also say that the other cool the second song in it is also really good. It's called "Spit on Your Grave." It's more like a post punk like garden sound, you know. So and
Yeah.
I I guess this just made me anticipate whatever he's gonna come out with as an album, you know, because he always mixes like a lot of indie bedroom pop, shoegaze, but then he throws hip hop in there.
Yeah.
But "Spit on Your Grave" shows more kind of like I said, post punk garden sound. And the way
Yeah.
it's sung, like it's more like spoken word, and it kind of reminds me of like a Halloween song or like
Oh, really?
Monster Mash or something like that. Like I like it. I like it though. So
Yeah.
you guys should check it out. I highly recommend it, man. I hope you guys, you know, like I address as much as I do, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's also representation. I don't know. Some
Yeah,
type of
I think
pride,
so
you know?
too. No, I think that matters because you know the funny thing is when you showed me iDress or
Yeah.
I don't remember if you showed me iDress or if we found him on live. I remember there was just one night after the after Smash Bros night during season 1,
Yeah.
you stayed over and we were just looking up Filipino rappers. We're like, man, how come we don't
Yeah.
like Filipino rappers and shit? That night you either showed him to me or we found him. Did you show him to me that night?
I
Is that
showed
what
him to you,
happened?
yeah, because
Yeah.
I found him through again Spotify, dude.
Spotify, yeah.
For Spotify, it's like you're Filipino. Here you
Yeah.
go, you know.
For real, but I remember loving the music videos that we watched, and I listened to, and I added some of those songs to like my like running playlist and shit, like their
Yeah.
older stuff. Really dope, man. And there's another artist in San Francisco. He's actually on Text Me Records, named Nanosaur. I think like they have such same vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't I send you the Nanosaur album this
I
year?
think you did, and I
Yeah,
liked it.
man.
I
Yeah,
I feel like
same vibes.
I don't know if they've worked together. I need to look that up because I feel like that came
Did
up.
they work together?
I have to look. I feel like he was in.
Oh no, Nanosaur I think posted the album on his story. I don't know if but I don't know if that's what you're talking about or if they work together because I definitely saw that on Nanosaur's story
I
like
see.
earlier
I
this
think
week.
that's it. I think that's it. Yeah.
But it makes but that's why I thought of Nanosaur because like when I saw him post that I was like, that actually makes sense because I think Nanosaur's album sounds super similar and it's not in my
Yeah.
top 10, but it's only because I haven't had the chance to listen to it as much as I should. You know what I mean? So, yeah, happy to check that out, man.
Yeah, man.
Rodney said, "Yeah, Party at Pete's. The cover with Pete's face like a tiger. I forgot his face was. He did a tiger face paint, and then he went into the bushes and he was like this, and then that was the cover to Party at Pete's.
That's
we were
awesome, man.
Do you remember the Orgy album cover?
No, I don't.
It was essentially me, Adam, Pete, and Matt in bed together at Matt's house, and we were all under the covers like that.
That's funny, dude.
And the whole time, Matt was like so scared that like his dad would walk in on the photo shoot and disown him. Oh man, good times.
That would
man.
have been a better fucking like
And
album
it's like,
cover.
my dad disowned me because of this album cover.
Oh my god.
I miss high school, man.
Yeah, man. It's been
Well,
too long. I feel old.
bro, I graduated high school 12 years ago, so that means 13 for you.
Yeah, dude.
We old, bro. We old, man. We old, man. All right, so I think we're on number 5 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, now we're getting to the top 5,
Yeah. Midway.
and it's 10-10. We're midway.
Midway
and
to the mid-year.
So that means we're gonna probably be done by midnight.
Oh god. Well, I mean,
But
I feel
number-
like for me, I don't have much to say, but go ahead.
This is now when I have a lot to say. So I told you I talk a lot, man. This is my fault. So number 5, and I'll try to keep this as short as possible. I might be biased for this too because this is gonna be my future wife. She has never met me, but we spent the Halloween together, and I know she felt what I felt. And this is Sinead Harnitz.
Oh.
Ready is always too late. Everyone that knows me probably knows that my favorite R&B artist right now is Sinead Harnett. I am such a diehard fan of this woman. Not only because I'm gonna marry her, but because the music's great, bro. Like it's genuine R&B. Like there's so many like R&B variations now that it's difficult to find just an R&B artist. And my 2 favorite R&B artists right now Sinead Harnett and PJ Morton. If you don't know who PJ Morton is, y'all should go fucking look up PJ Morton because I'm so mad that I didn't realize the piano album came out last year. Because it came out so late in the year that I didn't put it on my list last year. It's like with Roddy Ricch's album where it came out the end of the year and it's like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't put it on a list, you know? So that PJ Morton album's amazing. He is the band director for Beyonce and Solange, and he's the keyboardist of Maroon 5. Like, that's how fucking crazy talented this guy is. But the best thing he does, it's definitely not Maroon 5. It's his solo shit. So those are my two favorite R&B artists. Sinead Harnett is definitely number one, and as much as I loved her last album, Lessons in Love, this album's better. This album is called Ready's Always Too Late. She has like, and you could tell that like her last album got her some clout because she has songs with Earth Gang. She has songs with fucking Lucky Day. She has songs with fucking Masego now on this album, and they're all so fucking good, bro. Like that song "Take Me Away." It has Earth Gang, one dude from Earth Gang in it, and is probably the best Sinead Harnett song ever. And that's saying a lot because she has so much music out.
Dude.
She has the song called fucking Stickin' that was produced by Masego. It's like, if you like Kaytranada and early Chance the Rapper, imagine if you had a real R&B singer on that beat. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then, of course, she has just like classic R&B ballads. Radio is Always Too Late is literally sounds like it could have come from a Brian McKnight album or early Mariah Carey. You know what I mean? Late Janet Jackson. You know what I mean? Or like late 2000s or late 90s Janet Jackson. Like a lot of R&B singers now, they make like what's that fucking trap soul type shit that like Bryson Tiller and The Weeknd put together. And I love that sound. I really do. You know how much I love The Weeknd. You know what I mean? But and you know how much I love Party Next Door. Like those are like some of my favorite artists. Majid Jordan. But it's just like everyone's doing that now. And there's no genuine R&B, and you almost could get away with like, you know, back in the day, R&B singers were fucking singers first before anything. Yeah. You know? And now R&B singers such as myself, we're not singers. You know what I mean? Like we're songwriters. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you lose the skillful singing in today's R&B because everything's auto-tuned and you know what I mean? Sinead Harnett is a throwback. And in the world where there's so many old heads that are just like, oh, today's music, I could only listen to shit from the night. You're just not looking hard enough, man. Because Sinead Harnett sounds like she could have been an R&B singer in the 90s, the second golden era of R&B. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 60s, 90s. Those are the golden eras of R&B, and she could have been in any of those eras. Yeah. Trust me. I was raised on Anita Baker, man. Trust me. Man, that's my number 5.
Check that out. What's the name of the album again?
Ready is Always Too Late.
Ready is Always Too Late. Is that where she's like? Is that like where she's putting bricks together or something like that in the backyard or something? Yeah,
one of the music videos is that. Yep.
Oh, okay. It's like I didn't know she came out with an album, but I did see that image.
Yeah,
maybe a single or something.
Yeah, it's from one of the music videos.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you put me on to Sinead Harnett, man, and I was there in the Halloween.
Oh man, yeah, you saw when we had that connection, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
He's seen it.
And man, like she put on a good performance, amazing voice, and I agree. Like there's certain like, I guess you could reference her style to be like, oh, 90s R&B and stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of good music is when you feel like, oh, this sounds like from here, but modern. But really, because it's kind of timeless, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're like
the best way to put it.
Yeah, because like there's certain types of music where it's, even though it's from the 90s or something like that, it's always gonna be good in any era. You know?
Facts. That's a fucking fact, man.
Yeah,
and I'm glad you were there to witness that moment, man. We also had a blast that night. That was a good Halloween.
That was a good night.
Oh man,
it's hard to get home though. Freaking.
I know, man. That sucks, dude. My bad about that.
It's all good. But I definitely have to check that out, man. Because yeah, you put me on.
Yeah.
For my number 5, it's an album you already mentioned. And that's why I couldn't really talk about it much. But it's Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine. And I guess they had like a plus pack, so it has like, you know, the last 2 songs. I didn't really think it added much to the album,
really?
To be honest.
Did I listen to the last 2 songs?
It's just
Oof.
they added like Jeremiah or something like that.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think they end with the light, right? In the other one,
and the other one, yeah.
the light part two. Yeah. So when I first when that single came out, I was so excited because I love Danny Brown.
That's my favorite
Amazing
song.
music video. It's
Yeah,
amazing. It's
yeah.
amazing. Um, great music video. Like I like where they were going. You know, where you were saying they kind of went back to like their roots. It feels like
Yep.
simple beat. You know, it's just like a weird like you know.
Yeah.
Um, I love the production on that, and I was so excited for the album. When the album came out, I was like, you know, it's all
Yeah.
right. It's just so underwhelming.
Hmm.
Um, and after the height of Ginger,
Yeah.
you know, where I felt like Ginger and Iridescence were like my
Hmm.
favorite because Iridescence put me
Yeah.
onto them.
Hmm.
Their production is so quirky, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I felt that for Iridescence, were like, damn, they're really, you know, forming their own sound. I guess they're really going out there, you know, like you wouldn't hear these kind of beats somewhere else. When it went to Ginger, they went more like, um, not exactly intimate, but more like, you know, like harmonies, you know, like
Yeah.
Sugar sounds like it could have been like a boy band who sang it,
Right.
you know?
And that's why I loved it because I think that was their idea in the first place. Because I remember I
Yeah.
watched their Noisy documentary
Uh-huh.
way back, like from like 2 years prior to
Hmm.
I think it was like when they were doing fucking Saturation One still, because fucking
Yeah.
or even Saturation Two, because I know fucking what's his name, Amir was still in the group back then.
Yeah.
But like I remember the idea was they wanted to sound like a hip hop boy band, and
Uh-huh.
like Ginger was that. Like
Yeah,
that's the peak of it, you
exactly.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's when they finally like materialized that idea. When this came out, I feel like this is good. Certain songs definitely had more of the flair that they usually have, where it seems like everyone had some part in it. Like even
Yeah.
Buzzcut, even though Kevin Abstract and Danny Brown was like more dominant on that song, you know, they had I don't know the other people's names, but then they have like that breakdown of the white dude with the hair flying the
Joba.
yeah.
Yeah, Joba. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, they have that quirky same kind of like breakdowns and, you know, in terms of production. But then as each song went on, like I could still give props to the production, but something just feels like it's not there. You know, something
Yeah,
feels missing. And like
I agree.
the thing is, I love the songs like Eyeball, uh, Chain On, Bankroll. You know, they got JPEG there. They
Yeah.
got ASAP Ferg and Rock. The Light. I like how it's has guitars in it. You know, it feels like it's more than just like a hip hop song. You
Yeah.
know, so they definitely feel like they tried to go for a theme. I just didn't get it.
Yeah. I
You
couldn't
know?
get like what's the point either, you know? Like
Yeah.
and it's not that I'm not saying like what's the point, like why did I listen to this?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what were you trying to say? I just don't know. I feel like the clearest they sounded was like don't shoot up the party. Like there was a
Yeah.
clear answer there or like
Uh.
clear like theme there and they like executed it well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like certain songs, like if I look into it, what's the name? I think Count on Me.
Mhm.
Count on Me to me just felt underwhelming. It had a cool like beat. It
Mm.
sounded like the whistle one. I think it kind of sounded like whistly.
Mhm.
But then the hook, I feel like they tried to capture some type of like sugar or ginger, but
Yeah.
it didn't
Did it
hit.
connect? Yeah.
Yeah, felt like something was missing there, and like it just felt underwritten.
Yeah.
Um, but like listening to it some more, it did grow on me a lot more. I don't think it's gonna climb my list per se. It might even go down, of course, with more releases coming out. But
Yeah.
I would say actually, the more I listen to it, then getting past like the light when it goes to Windows, and everything past that, I'm starting to like it more. You know,
Yeah.
even though like I would think that Buzzcut is probably their most catchiest song on here with the most
Mhm.
energy, and like I wanted them to carry that energy throughout. I feel like at the same time it might just be an issue of sequencing.
Yeah, it could be.
You know, because like the last songs when they start going like, it started like Iridescence, like something about him when they would have like the layered harmony kind of singing, or maybe it's not even like layered harmony. It's some type of like effect where it sounds like what's the word for it? Like a sort of higher pitched voice. It sounds like they're younger when they're singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where they like, so it's not necessarily like a pitch shifter, but it's like something like that. Yeah, like it just like modulates your voice.
Modulates your voice, and it seems like it adds like a doubler to it, or like chorus. When it gets to that, where it sounds like, okay, I'm seeing more of like a harmonies on it and more like color, then I start liking it more. You know, more like warmth to it. The first part just felt too like, I don't know. It's hard to put a finger to it, and I feel like you kind of struggled with it the same way. You know?
I did. Yeah. I think that was like the biggest thing that hurts this album, is that it just doesn't really have an identity. You know?
Yeah.
Like I think, and like they were so good at setting that, especially with Ginger. Like I feel like Ginger, there was like such a clear like theme that it came out sonically, it not just like lyrically and like melodically, like all their production sounded like what they wanted it to sound like. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just feel like this album is like, it's one of those albums where it's like, dude, you're good, there's just nothing special about you. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna break it down, it's skilled, you know, it's highly skilled, but there's just no it factor, you know?
No it factor. Or I guess the other thing is like, my question to the album, or to Brockhampton when they made it, it's like, how do you sound in this album so cohesive, yet still sound as if it was just a compilation?
Yeah,
you know,
that's also true.
While the other albums they had more variety feeling in it, but felt like it came together better. You know, or they themselves came together better. You know,
I think this is like what was the problem with Dav season.
Yeah.
I think we put out our Roadrunner. We need to put out our Ginger.
That's true.
Know? Coming soon. Coming soon. Well, dope, man. That was number 5, right? So we're on 4. So my number 4 was my number 1 for a few months.
Oh.
Sure, maybe it's because I didn't listen to too much new stuff, but it's also like just more stuff came out that had just more songs in it. This is the release that I have on here with the least songs, and it's only the least by I think 2 songs actually, or by 1 song. But this is Civilization 2 by Caro Bonito. My God, you know how much we love Caro Bonito here on the On Repeat podcast. But this little 3-song EP, it might be my favorite release I've ever gotten from Caro Bonito. And I think it's because, like, again, it was just like the idea is like literally put through. Like this album is, and I'm like so scared of other people putting out quarantine albums. Yeah, because I'm assuming I'm gonna start to hate that trend very soon when everybody starts putting out quarantine. I heard Carly Rae Jepsen's making a quarantine album, and I'm like, fuck, like don't put out something bad. I love you. You're my favorite. You're one of my favorite artists. If you do a fucking quarantine album, it's probably gonna be corny as shit. You know what I mean? So I'm scared of all the upcoming quarantine albums. But Caro Bonito did it fucking right. And they did it right because they fucking got in and got the fuck out. I don't need 12 songs about you being in quarantine and how you fucking wish you could have not taken things for granted. And even though I'm disconnected with people physically, I've always been disconnected emotionally. You know what I mean? Like I'm fucking so, like I'm ready for these songs to come out just so I could be like, this is the most predictable shit you could have done as an artist. You know what I mean? But Caro Bonito took a different approach. Yeah. They did not fucking write about how sad they were that they were inside, or how the world is fucked up right now, or like, oh, I took things for granted. They did not write that. They wrote all these poignant little songs about being locked in at home, all the imagination that runs wild when you're in your house by yourself, but also just like the routines you get into, which is fucking The Princess and the Clock. And then the second song, which is my favorite fucking song that on this album, which is probably like my second favorite song of the year, and it's fucking titled with a date that's not even formatted the way Americans format it, because we're idiots. It's fucking like the 21st of April 2020 instead of April 21, 2020, like we say. You know what I'm saying? but it's literally just numbers. It's a date. And that song is so fucking incredible because it's not a happy song, it's not a sad song, but there's a fucking whole heap of melancholy. And what fucking sums up the quarantine for people that are privileged enough to just have to wait it out? You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to hear from like our favorite white indie pop bands about how oppressed or depressing life is right now because of quarantine, because you're not. You know what I mean? It's like people that are afforded this comfortable lifestyle. And I include myself into this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not I recognize that I'm a part of this now based on where I'm at in life. You know what I mean? This was just like a minor inconvenience to us. People kept making it like, oh, we're fucking so depressed and we're locked in here and like fucking we're going through it so hard, when there's actually people severely impacted by this pandemic that lost their jobs, that lost their lives, and we're over here complaining because we have to be at home all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the people that got to like wait out the pandemic from a privileged kind of like comfortable perspective, I don't want to hear how hard the quarantine was for you, because it wasn't hard for us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, it was a little like it was a difficult in its own way, but I'm not trying to hear the pain that came out of it, making it sound like you were going through life and death, because you weren't. You know what I'm saying? Carol Bonito was just like, they wrote that song about just like a fucking day that was actually really nice, but was like not ideal. And how do you write songs about something that's just like not ideal? I can't. You know what I mean? It's either I'm the coolest guy in the world or I'm gonna fucking cry right now. There's no like, hey man, this is not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's fine. I can't write from that perspective, but Carol Bonito did. And that's not just the lyrics and the melody, it's the fucking production that came behind it. It's had the fucking like nice, like all the synths and everything was like, it's the major key song and everything sounds so bright and bubbly that it's like, hey, everything's okay. But at the same time, it's so monotonous, and it kind of simulates like how you must feel being like going through Groundhog's Day every day. You know, it's like, dude, nothing's life or death for me. Everything is actually fine, but I'm not like fully fulfilled. And that being able to capture that feeling is so fucking difficult that Carol Bonito should fucking like be 100% like commended for that, just as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, that's only the second song. The third song is fucking Well Rested, which is such a fucking great song because it's a great way to end your quarantine day. And it's also like, it almost simulates like when you're trying to get your rest, you're trying to fucking like just like recover whatever it is, but then like your mind's still going, and that's why the beat is so upbeat with that song. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a dance song. Again, they're just able to capture nuance and subtlety that is just really like, as in somebody that tries to create art as well, is fucking like something. I look at that, I'm like, I could never do that. I am outclassed. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my number 3.
Man, number 3 or
4? Number 4.
Okay,
Number 4. Sorry.
But I was gonna say, man, I have more to say about this later. But
can't wait.
Yeah, I guess, and like maybe we could have a better discussion about this too, because I feel like you definitely picked up more of the meaning more than I did. I feel like I saw it differently, but maybe that's also the point. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, man, I could probably be wrong too. You know what I'm saying? So please.
No, it's all good. I don't think you are. Is what I'm saying. But for my number 4, it's something that I need to spend more time with, especially because of who it comes from. Definitely a really good album. And it's a collaboration between 2 rappers. And they collaborated before, and I think that their last album was definitely on my list. It's pretty high up there from what I remember. I kind of like this one better than the last one. And there's a lot of bias here, I'm going to say. And I feel like, I don't know if you've heard this album yet. You might give a listen to it, especially because of the outcome of one of the rappers. But this is the album's called Super What by Czarface and MF Doom.
Oh shit.
So
I didn't even know that came out.
it came out May.
Oh wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, and
Is that
like
MF's last album then?
MF's last album.
Holy shit, I gotta listen to
And
that.
like in a way, it feels like it could have been. Well, I don't know if it feels like it could have been. It could have been like B-sides from their last album, or an actual direct sequel. Because I think their last album it came out 2019 or no 2020, right?
Yeah, it was recent.
Yeah, it was recent. But I feel like they were still kind of going off the same kind of narrative where they meet and it still has like that comic booky like Saturday
I think it was
morning
2019.
cartoons.
It might have actually been 2018 though, right?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah. I think it's 2018
2018.
actually, because 2020 is when he died, actually, right?
Yeah, 2020 is when he
Yeah.
died, but in Halloween, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel
okay.
like it was 2018, but whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, I need to look back. I need to look back in my playlist. But really like this album. Really good beats. It still has that kind of like old cartoony like sounds that they would use. Um, they have that boom bap production on the drums. Um, it still sounds pretty old school. And the thing is, I feel like they kind of feel like an album that old heads would really enjoy more,
Yeah.
because they come from that like East Coast sounding old school rap,
Right.
where a lot of their production is still that kind of like loungy type of songs.
Mhm.
But I mean, part of the reason why I feel like I put it up there is because it's MF Doom's last album, and throughout the years, it stayed consistently really good. I feel like he doesn't ever make an album just for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like he's not just gonna put something out there just to make something. He's gonna put something out there because he had to make something or he had to say something.
Right.
Um, and the thing with them, both of them, is a little challenging sometimes when you try to relate to their songs,
Yeah.
because it's coded. They're saying something and it's like, what is he trying to say? But at the same time, it's not like certain rappers where like, wow, like that just goes over my head. I'm not gonna listen to it. Like they
Yeah.
hold your interest because they're presenting it to you as if like one, they're villains, or like superheroes. It's presented to you through like like while I was listening to this, it felt like I was watching TV, or
Oh, right.
I
Yeah.
was listening to the radio because sometimes they'd have like the segue of like a commercial, or
Mhm.
the Czar Force is what they're called or something like that. And they also have an ability, even though what they're saying is coded, they're painting a picture. So while they're saying something like I'm there, and you just have to like, I don't think it's enough to listen to any of MF Doom's lyrics or to his songs without looking at his lyrics.
Yeah,
Like
you have to.
you have to, because
Yeah,
otherwise
you
you're
have
not
to.
gonna know what he's saying. Like he would, But yeah, love the album. If you're a big MF Doom fan, you gotta listen to this. Like compared to a lot of his other albums, sonically, there's certain songs. Like my favorite is still Mad Villainy. That's still to
His
me
album, yeah,
my
amazing.
highlight as far as his
Yeah.
career. But he's never had a bad album.
Yeah.
And then he has this song Doom unto Others. That I think that's one of my favorite songs, and it's such a simple beat behind him. But then it's
Yeah.
like this like kind of like not droning but like repeating kind of like heavy drum beat, where there's not much instrumentation, but it just sounds like I don't know, like a boss on it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, MF Doom is one of those guys where you listen to it, any of his verses at 1st, you're like, that's just a bunch of random words you put together.
Yeah, right.
And then you read it and you're like, oh wait, no. He is making one clear ass point. Also, 6 words in this entire sentence all rhyme with the first 6 words of the next
Yeah.
sentence. So you're just like, wait, I didn't even see how fucking amazing these bars were until I fucking like read this shit, and now it like blows your mind.
Yeah.
I do think Mad Villainy is probably his best album. That's the one he did with William Street, right?
Yeah, for
Records?
Adult Swim and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, dude, like
Mad Lib, right?
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I did not know that the first. Well, is it? I guess it's a posthumous album.
Yeah.
I got to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like I said, if you really want to get it deep into it, that's why like I put it here because I know what kind of gold mine this is.
Yeah.
You know? And I
Get hella high one night, read the lyrics, and it's going to be even bigger.
Exactly. I just know once I sit down and read the lyrics as I'm listening to this, I'm going to be blown away. Because, like I said, their way of rapping isn't so much like, I don't know, like sometimes there's bars, right? Their rapping is like telling a story.
Yeah.
You know, and it just fits their whole persona from the very beginning because it's very cartoony, comic booky.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like
I always say that like MF Doom is like math hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's like guitar players that could play guitar and it sounds cool. And then there's Megadeth. And there's Dragon Force. You know what I mean? There are guys that could do this and shit. You know what I mean? Like there's there's like Death Cab for Cutie, and then there's Minus the Bear. You know what I mean? It's like fucking like we're going math rock. He's the Rush of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like that, yeah. So I'm a fucking such a big fan of MF Doom, and it's so sad what happened to him. And I definitely need to listen to this.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
hell yeah, man.
4, man.
So we're on number 3 now, then,
Number
huh?
3.
Number 3. This is the highest ranked K-pop album I have on my list, and this is not someone that is new to any of my lists. If you go back to 2018, I believe, I want to make sure. So this is my list for 2021, 2020. This is 2019, and this is 2018. Yep. So, 2017. Yeah, 2017. IU's Palette was on my list. In 2021, IU's Lilac is number 3 on my list. And I've showed you the Palette music video for IU, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's just the best music video ever made, first and foremost. Second of all, that's my favorite K-pop song that's ever come out. Third of all, something that doesn't happen a lot in K-pop is she wrote that song. So, like, she's just like... What I always tell Cammy, too, is Cammy's also a pretty big K-pop fan, much bigger than I am. But, whenever I like a K-pop artist, and it's usually groups, right? Because it's all K-pop groups and shit. I always have to get over some cringy things to like it. It's almost like wrestling, you know? You have to suspend your disbelief in order to get into it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like the same for like K-pop groups for me, and even just like boy bands in general and shit, you know? Like I have to suspend my disbelief and get over some cringy shit to appreciate what the fuck's going on here. I don't need to do that with IU. Like she just happens to be a Korean. You know what I mean? Like I think she's an amazing. Like if she were American, she'd be like, okay, if she sang all her songs in English, she'd probably be like a Lord Lana Del Rey type artist. You know what I'm saying? Like she doesn't just do pop songs. She has like ballads and shit, and not corny fucking Asian ballads. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like just like genuine singer-songwriter shit. And again, she actually, compared to a lot of other K-pop acts, writes a lot of her stuff. And again, that just doesn't happen. A lot of K-pop groups are very GMO, and IU's not that. And I would say, as much as I loved her last album, Palette, and I think that album has the best K-pop song ever made, I think Lilac is a much better complete album. Like the song Lilac itself is amazing. It's like a perfect like single for the album, but then she has deep cuts. Like the last song, Epilogue, literally sounds like, how would I put it? It sounds like, do you remember Sarah Shannon?
Yeah.
You remember her solo album?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's something like that mixed with like Lord. And it's like, wait, this is not like, songs like this doesn't come out from K-pop acts. You know what I mean? Like this sounds genuine. You know what I mean? And just like with her last album, that song Palette is just so genuine. Like it's just so her, you know? And you don't get that in K-pop acts because it's just like, oh, this is like a produced thing. And that's okay sometimes, but it doesn't impact me as hard as like what an IU could do. So if you're trying to get introduced into K-pop and you're like God, I just can't get over the cringy pop qualities of it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to IU because she is just like genuinely a great artist, and it's a lot of like really thoughtful pop songs.
Yeah.
And again, no cringy moments. You don't. I never feel ashamed showing people IU's music, especially this album. Like usually when I show a K-pop song, I'm like, oh, we're gonna have some fun now, and I have to like. I have to hedge my bets before I put the K-pop song on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I have to jokingly bring up TT as a dance in order to like really just show how much I love Twice to people. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that with IU. I just showed you guys an IU music video because I thought it was dope. It wasn't like, oh, you want to get K-pop in this bitch? You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Like this was just like I love IU as an artist. So if you're gonna get into any K-pop shit, you should get into IU because it's just smart pop music.
Mm-hmm. Damn, yeah, I know who you're talking about. It's like where there's even a rap part and the rapper wasn't in it, right?
Yeah, G Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like her sound a lot, man. I mean, to me, when I heard that, like, it just reminds me of like a lot of the J-pop songs I like. You know, or like, you know, I even thought maybe she's kind of like the Korean version of like Carly Rae or something like that.
Thank you
Yeah.
for saying that. I'm so high, dude.
I just know that one song though, so I feel like I need to get deeper into this. So what's
Listen to
the
this
album
album.
name again?
Lilac.
Lilac. Okay. Yeah, man. Because like, especially now, I don't know. There was a time when I would, you know, like, and not by choice, but I would listen to like a lot more male singers or like bands.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's just switch, you know, where like a lot of times I do like female voices better.
I don't, dude. If you look at my last 3 or 4 years, most of the top is like either female pop, like just solo artists, or like female-led groups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Soccer mommy tops, tennis. You know what I mean? Phoebe Bridgers.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? SZA, Billie Eilish, Carly Rae Jepsen, Lily Allen. Like all of these every year. You know what I mean? And yeah,
That's awesome.
I don't know, man. Maybe I just relate more to the female side of things, man.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is a lot of the female like singers we listen to. I mean, first of all, great voices, you know. But you know, you have the Sinead Harnett on this side, but I think the majority of the ones we like are kind of in the indie pop.
Yeah, that's true.
Sphere, you know, so
That's true. That's true.
like they're still kind of carrying on that thing we grew up with, while a lot of the other male-dominated stuff is like what hip hop and you know, rock and stuff like that. So
35-minute industrial hip hop songs.
yeah. Pretty much. But for my number 3, we could finally talk about it. It's Civilization 2 by Keto Keto Benito. And man, I like it. This does feel refreshing, like you were saying, you know, and it makes sense. I didn't put it together that they wrote this in 2020 because it came out this year. You know, they did come out with Civilization 1. When did that come out? I felt like that was last year too, right?
I think that was I remember it being recent.
2019. But I like the Civilization series they have. It's short, 3 songs. I like it when artists are kind of going that route where, like, you know, we'll release little by little but more consistently. Just because I feel like sometimes, you know, when you're in school, when you're writing an essay, at first you learn how to write a lot, fill of pages, but then later on they're like, oh, if you're writing too much, it means you didn't edit, you know? So you need to like say what you need to say concisely in like a smaller like package, but then it has to like hit you more, you know? But of course, when you start off this album, typical Caro Bonito sound is like the video game sounding music. And like with how our last year and this year has been, we've been playing a lot of games on Twitch.
That's another meta. That's another meta thing. God, that's great. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, and a lot of them are story-driven games more than like action or anything. A lot of them have like, you know, just we're reading shit. But then they also have like a lot of video gamey sounds, you know, like that are nostalgic.
That's so true.
Like Cara Bonito, I can hear that in Undertale.
Oh hell yeah,
You
Undertale,
know,
100%. It's like if Sand started a band, dude.
right, right. I can also hear this in what was that, Night in the Woods?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I just like the charm that they are packaged in this, like, they fucking make bait bug snacks, the song. And even that I love, you
I
know?
say I listen to it all the
Yeah.
time.
And they remind me of like the bands we would listen to in high school,
Mhm.
but just
Hell
a
yeah,
lot more like electronic.
definitely.
Um but I guess with these songs, what I'm surprised by, like Princess and the Cook, the whole time it's just, I'm sure the tempo doesn't change, but they know how to arrange it where like there's kind of like a build up, a rising and falling, and then it kind of like stops, and then it comes back again, and then you have the 16 bar like drums on it, and I guess like listening to it, as far if we're gonna talk about the sonic aspect of it, they know how to arrange songs,
Definitely.
even though it's all electronic, and video game soundy. Like, I don't know, I feel like you were saying earlier, how you feel outclassed. Like, I feel that it's like, how the fuck did they
Yeah.
write? There's like
Where-
three of them. They're probably just in their room, and it's like, how did they write sequences like this? Like, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. They understand music in a way that I probably don't yet. Um, and then it's like 210420.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me
It's a
of,
Childish Gambino song.
yeah, right. Kind of reminds me of like Acid House Kings, Icicles. Like I said, like
Yes.
things that we used to listen to. Um, they ended it with a perfect song, Well Rested. I love the first two songs, definitely. Definitely. I can't It's hard for me to like say which ones I like the most. But Well Rested felt like that could have been like a single on its own, with the,
Yeah.
like, kind of like how Death Grips released like a long song. With the 7 minute
Mhm.
song, I feel like that's their like form of a long song.
Yeah.
To me, if they
Yeah.
released that, I would have added that alone into this list, because they
Yeah.
went through like at first with the Japanese songs, and then they
Yeah.
tie it with like a really catchy chorus,
Yeah.
and then towards the end, as it like the music just keeps going and kind of breaking apart. You hear I don't even know the lead singer's name, but she just,
Sarah Benito.
Sarah Benito. Okay.
Yeah.
But she was talking about like civilization and stuff like that. And she says like, they can't stop civilization. And like that's when I felt like the theme, I started to formulate it more, and going off of what you were saying, I didn't envision that it was just like kind of, about the quarantine,
Yeah.
per se. Although I think it does touch upon that, because them saying civilization can't be stopped or something like that, where it still has that hopeful kind of,
Mhm.
or rebellious like fighting spirit in the end.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like it's coming from like this, like an advanced civilization, like an entity that's kind of like warning us to also kind of like get our shit together. You know?
Okay.
I guess
like that.
Yeah, that's just like the feeling, or like how I was kind of interpreting it. Then when I look back to the other songs, especially now when we talk about quarantine, I feel like it is just kind of like the first two songs felt like sort of an escape.
Mhm.
And then the last song is kind of like to tie the bow. It's like, you've had kind of like your escape, but then we have to like make sure civilization goes again. And I guess to
I
me,
like
it's
that.
like, it started off with this fun songs, very light, and then the end gave me this kind of like optimistic yet ominous feeling,
Yeah. I love it, man. What a great album.
Yeah.
Or a great EP.
Yeah,
Hopefully
right.
they keep doing more shit like this. I really love the point too where you were like, dude, like the soundtrack to our quarantine was video game sound,
Mm.
it's video game music. That's like another meta piece of the album that just makes
Yeah.
it so fucking great, man. Hell yeah.
And the voice with the accent is just like,
Yeah, oh man.
it's so
Yeah.
good, like,
Insane.
yeah.
Yep. It might keep going too because it's 4 on my list, 3 on yours, and
Mm.
the replay value on it's super high.
It is,
You know.
because it's 3 songs. They're
Yeah.
all catchy, and not catchy in a way that's annoying.
Yeah.
You know, it still has like
Hell yeah.
it's like traditional like musical parts, I guess is what I'd say.
Word.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool. So is that it for 3 for you?
That's it for 3.
Oh shit. So top 2 now.
Top 2.
Top 2 for me. Number 2 is an artist we already talked about earlier.
Yeah.
This is their this this is their EP, I guess it is, because it's only 4 songs, 5 songs, 4 songs, 12 minutes long. There's a theme here. Shorter's better to me, at least. Maybe, but you know, maybe that's just me. But this is Luna Lee's "Alone But Not Lonely," bro. The fact that I'm just gonna say that my top 2 albums are like this. The only difference is Luna Lee only had 4 songs. My number 1 had some more songs, but it wasn't too long either. You know what I'm saying? But there's literally no bad songs on this. Luna Lee had also dropped like 2 of these songs as a single previously. So, you know, it's like, I can't say it's an album. It's more of like an EP, I think, for the 4 songs. But again, it just has that classic Luna Lee sound, but like perfected. Because like if you'd been following her on Instagram, like you would have heard like her progression with her sound. And I think she really has realized this sound that makes it, that's a perfect mix of like R&B, indie, like bedroom indie pop and hip hop, but also feel like it's not of this time. It feels like these are sounds that would have happened in like the late 70s, but in like but not the disco era. You know what I mean? Like the fucking funk and R&B era of the late 70s. The folk era of the late 70s. It feels like that. You know what I'm saying? And the problem that I had with her jams was, again, like, she is such a great producer and songwriter that when she's not writing songs and she's just producing beats, I don't think she realizes she's writing songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these 4 songs on this album feel so fucking realized. It feels like this is what pop music should sound like. You know what I mean? It feels like if I went to school and got a PhD in fucking pop music, it should sound like this.
Damn, dude.
It's like thoughtful, skilled, and realized pop music. And the fact that, like, at the end of the day, you can feel the root in this is hip hop. It just makes it even more authentic. You know what I mean? And I've been chasing the Luna Lee sound for the past couple years.
Yeah.
And this album, again, I said Outclassed earlier, and I was talking about Caro Caro Bonito. This album also feels like I can't make it. There's only a few times when you become like an artist and you start to feel like you're good at something. I always listen to things. I'm like, okay, I get how they did that. And then there's something in the back of my head that says I could do that. You know what I mean? But there's only a few times in your life where you listen to something or you experience something and you're just like, I literally cannot do that. This is one of those albums to me. The last time I felt something like this was like when I saw Tierra Whack at Outside Lands. She didn't have all the bells and whistles of all the big acts, but the way she performed and owned the mic and the stage and the crowd, I was like, I actually cannot do that. You know what I mean? Like, I even watched Childish Gambino the night before, and you know how much I love Bino, bro. Like, I'm a Bino diehard fan. I'm a stan. You know what I mean?
Same here.
But when I watched his show, like, there was that voice in my head that was like, I get what's happening here. The lights, the lights, the fucking band, the fucking smoke. You know what I mean? I'm not wearing a shirt and I'm wearing pants. You know what I mean? Like, I get what made this dope, and I think I could do that. When I saw Tierra Whack, I was like, I don't understand how she's doing this. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about Luna Lee. Like, I don't understand how she could produce that. I don't understand how she thought of those melodies. I don't understand how she got the feel just right. Because again, the feel is so important. The only thing that's stopping me from like recommending the Pipettes to everyone in the fucking world is that it doesn't feel like what it was supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sounded like what it was supposed to sound like, but it didn't feel like it. But I show everyone Lucky Soul. They didn't necessarily even have better songs than the Pipettes, but it felt like it came from an era.
Yeah.
If I'm playing, you know what I mean? And That's what this Luna Lee album does to me. My favorite songs on it is every fucking song. But honestly, probably Cherry Pit is my favorite song because it's the more upbeat one, and the fucking chorus is so like so much of a mix of like Bee Gees, Le Coupe, and fucking holy shit, what's Homegirl that was on fucking Tyler the Creator? Kali Uchis. It sounded like a mixture of all three of those artists, and they come from very different worlds that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
Man, and put it all together in a way that sounds authentic and real and realized. And I wish I made this album. I wish I could produce like Luna Lee, and I'm in love with her. And that's my number 2.
You know what month this came out in?
This came out. I don't. Let me see. Let me see.
It's not too big a deal, but like
2021, I think.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that she had that out, man. Because I
yeah.
to it.
I think this was a couple months ago.
Okay.
Let me look it up specifically here.
No, it's all good.
Alone, but not alone. I'm on a computer. This is possible. This came out 1 month ago,
Damn.
May 13th. Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't see it, man. Because like when I was looking for music, I was like, I like Luna Lee, and I found jams, you know, and that's like,
oh shit.
I didn't. I don't know why I didn't see that. Damn.
Maybe because you thought it was a single. Maybe.
I think that's what it is. Because there is a new single.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is the song from this.
I see.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely
there's
have
4
to check
songs
that
in
out.
that single.
But
yeah, definitely.
I was gonna say I agree with the whole Childish Gambino because I'm a huge fan of him. He's definitely talented, could dance, could sing, you know. But like, what he's good at is like getting the production right, getting the right people to like. I have this idea, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, and like you were saying with Tierra Whack, she just has that magnetism towards her, you know, where like when she's doing something, it's just like she will take you to a different level, you know.
Yeah, facts.
With Luna Lee, I feel like when it comes to her instrumentation and the way she writes music, why it's something that maybe like only she could make. I think it's because she basically plays so many instruments that she doesn't need anybody.
Right.
And I feel like if you have that much knowledge of music and instruments, that if you create a guitar song, like you're gonna leave some room for this, because like I'm hearing this part in here. So like when it comes together, it like just works in a beautiful way, you know. So
yeah, like when you hear her songs, you hear everything of her.
Yeah.
Like the song sounds so fucking authentic because she touched every part of the song.
Yeah.
You know? And I wish I could do that. And I've tried to do that, but you know, Luna Lee is just at another level.
Yeah. Well, damn, man. I mean, based on her background too, I feel like it makes sense. You know, we don't have that kind of background, so
no. Our parents were not both fucking like conservatory of music fucking teachers.
Damn, dude. But anyways, for my number 2, someone you know, it's someone you showed me actually.
Oh,
the album's called Jubilee.
Oh, great album.
Japanese Breakfast.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this, you know, and like, kind of like with the trend where a lot of the music I listen to is like, you know, like led by female vocalists. The Japanese Breakfast, a lot, especially at the beginning, reminds me so much of like Florence in the Machine, you know.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
White Hinterland, and you said that's the same
label, Dead Oceans.
Right? Also reminds me of Fleet Foxes. And at first I was like, okay, this isn't bad because it's really good, but I've heard this before. But then like when Paprika came on, that's when I feel like it kind of clicked. We're like, you know what? She could kind of do a lot of this different variations, and she still sounds cohesive, you know. And it's smart how she's going about it. I don't know too much about them. Like, is it just one person? I think I see 2.
No, it's one person. It's Michelle Zauner. Okay. But then like there's one person that's consistently producing with her.
I see.
But yeah, she has like a touring band. But yeah, Japanese Breakfast is essentially just Michelle Zauner's project.
Yeah, like or I think it was B Sweet. Paprika is the opener. pretty good opening.
Yeah, Be Sweet is
Be
the
Sweet.
80s sounding
It's
one.
the 80s sounding one that sounded like Blondie to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like you know how much I like Blondie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it doesn't seem like she's just copying sounds. These are the things she likes, and this goes again to the point where like the artist that scored pretty high on my list this time is when they can get that variety from different genres, different influences, put it together, and still sound like them. You know,
Mhm.
Kokomo, Indiana, I guess it's IN.
Yeah, yeah.
That song is pretty much Camera Obscura.
Yeah, that's
Right?
nailed it.
Right?
Mhm.
And then when I was
Yep.
listening to this, like, this is amazing, man.
Yeah.
I also like Side Tackle. You know, a simple
Yep.
electronic beat reminds me of Class Actress in a lot of way. The sax
Mhm.
that comes in it,
So good.
so good, man.
Yeah.
And like Sit, when it comes in, it sounded like My Bloody Valentine to me as far as the
And
guitars
my
and stuff like that.
MBV is fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think it was just a really good listen. Um, I'll have to like this is something that I just discovered. It's high on my list because of how I feel about it at the moment.
Yeah.
And like the fact I think like Kokomo, when I heard that I was like, all right, this is gonna be in my top 10 because I love comedy obscure, you know.
Yep.
But I need to spend more time with Japanese Breakfast, and I want to go back into their other
Dude.
discography.
Definitely do it because
Yeah.
the album that came out prior to this one, Soft Sounds from Another Planet, I think it's
Yeah.
called. That album is fucking incredible. Dude, Dead Oceans is the best label out right now.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down.
I do think
I'm gonna-
that. Oh, go ahead.
I said I was just gonna be I'm gonna be the only rapper on that label. That's my goal. Yeah.
Do it, man. Do it. But I was gonna say certain instrumentals remind me also of Luna Lee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like especially the guitars on
You want to know something crazy?
Savage Good Boy. What?
Remember how I talked to you about Japanese Breakfast coming to San Francisco September 30th?
Yeah,
You know who's opening for
Luna
them?
Lee.
Luna Lee?
Damn, dude. All right,
We gotta go, dude.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. Yeah.
But yeah, man. I didn't get much meaning out of this. What I'm hearing from this, what I know will happen is more of a replayability. You know, I feel like so far with what I'm getting, it feels kind of like a writer type of, you know, themes and stuff like that. So it's gotta have to do with like love and just like despair from time to time and stuff like that. I don't know if you could talk about this, if it's gonna be on your list or not. But well, I don't know. Is there anything you could add as far as like if there's any meaning that I missed from this album?
Yeah, I feel like we could talk about it right after this break since we're going to go into our number ones. We'll take a really quick break here
All right.
so we could give you guys our number ones.
Sweet. Yeah.
And just sneak peek. I love this album.
All right. All right.
All right, let's take a quick break, man.
I'm gonna put it on the wait screen.
Sounds good. Oh shit.
Oh shit. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right. Thank you for coming back to the mid-year special of On Repeat podcast. As you know, we just went through 9 of our top 10. And Dark Ruffalo left off on his number 2, which was Jubilee by Japanese Breakfast.
Okay.
I thought that's all good. Which was Jubilee by Japanese Breakfast. And for my number 1 album of 2021 so far, it is Jubilee by Japanese Breakfast. It's been no secret, Kuya Kyle. You know how much I've been a big fan of Japanese Breakfast. One other thing too is I really like, because I always thought that they were cool. I even listened to Michelle's old band previously too, Little Big League. They were all right. But Japanese Breakfast, I was always like, oh, that's cool. And then when we saw Belle and Sebastian at the Fox Theater, Japanese Breakfast opened up for them.
Yeah.
And when we saw that live, I was like, holy fuck, they're actually really dope. Because like the song that they closed with that we saw was their song Little Big League previously, but was like way worse. So there's actually a song exploder, and again I've already plugged this podcast twice on this episode, but Song Exploder podcast is one of my favorite fucking podcasts. It's literally the Tao from the Tao and the Get Down Stay Down used to host this as well, but they would interview artists that would talk about the songwriting process, the production, and they would, like, as they're explaining it, would play the stems for you and stuff like that. And then at the end of all this, when they do their entire kind of like breakdown of the song, they'll play the full song. You know what I mean? So and then when they put that episode out, I was like, holy fuck, okay, I'm in. I'm a Japanese Breakfast fan now. And I was a little late, you know what I mean? But I was in. And again, Dead Oceans, best label out right now. White Hinterland, Phoebe Bridgers, fucking Mitski, fucking Japanese Breakfast. Like, come on. Like, that is like all of my favorite indie pop acts. Like, or folk pop acts right there. So this album, however, the first introduction I had to it was Be Sweet, because that was the single. And the music video, the thing that like really like, I love the song so much. The music video was literally my idea for fucking the Forget My Number music video.
Yeah.
Remember the video that I was telling you in like October that I wanted to do for my 80s song on the album? Me, you, and James, where we're like fucking detectives trying to find this girl who left her phone number with me.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
It's fucking almost exactly the same thing, except they're like hunting for aliens. Damn. So it's like not really the same thing, but it's like kind of the same vibes, and it's an 80s sounding song. I'm still gonna do the video, I don't give a fuck. But still, like, when I saw that, I remember like, fuck, dude. And then I was like, but damn, that song is fucking good. And then she actually released that as one of the songs on the Savage Good Boy single, and I listened to Savage Good Boy and I was like, holy fuck. And that's when I showed it to you. I showed you Savage Good Boy, the single that had Be Sweet on the B-side, as well as Posing in Bondage in the B-side. Those songs were already, like, for months, that single was number 1 on my list.
Yeah.
Or just those 3 songs. And then she puts out Jubilee, and all 3 of those songs are on it. Yeah. And it starts out with Paprika, and I'm like, this is literally, I think Paprika, and also my favorite song on the album, In Hell. I think those songs sounds like when Phoebe Bridgers has a full band in her songs. Like Kyoto, when, you know what I mean? Like fucking what was the song from the Motion Sickness from her first album? Like, that's what those 2 songs sound like. And like we were talking about earlier, the theme is variety while sounding cohesive. And this album is literally that. You know what I mean? Be Sweet is an 80s, like, Blondie, Cyndi Lauper, Carly Rae Jepsen, Emotion era 80s song, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking Kokomo, Indiana, like you said, is early Camera Obscura, bro. Like, this is like Underachievers Try Harder era Camera Obscura. This is fucking I Don't Do Crowds Camera Obscura.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's fucking incredible. And I also think Tactics also feels like one of the more down tempo Camera Obscura songs. Like fucking what's the song that you say for a bass guitar? What's that song called?
It's not Swimming Pools, is it?
And the stars out, but it also sounds like Swimming Pools too, though. I mean, it's like those slower songs. That's what
With
I
a
think.
pen and
Pen
notebook.
and notebook.
Yeah.
Let's go. You've blown me
Me
away. Oh my
away.
god, Hammer Obscura is just the best band ever.
Mm.
But I think Tactics sounds like that, right? And then fucking Posing in Bondage. It sounds like a really good electronic song that was like maybe like fucking like Club 8's more like electronic stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Fucking Slide Tackle is literally a postal service slash fucking Au revoir Simone slash Mega Mode
Mm-hmm.
song. So it's just all of my favorite fucking like and Posing for Cars is just such an epic outro. It feels like when Death Cab for Cutie used to do those 7-minute outros like
Mm.
Transatlanticism, you know what I mean? Or those
Mm.
8-minute intros like I Will Possess Your Heart. It's
Yeah.
like some songs are so fucking long for no reason.
Yeah.
But some songs are long as fuck and it like is the like makes you go through that experience for that long on purpose. You know what I mean? So as much as I was making fun of like the Death Grip stuff, like some of my favorite songs are way longer than you would expect. You know what I mean? Like the radio version of I Will Possess Your Heart is 2 minutes. The
Damn.
actual song is 8 minutes long. You know what I mean? Fucking Transatlanticism is 7 minutes and 20 something seconds. And the whole like 5-minute stretch when there's no singing, I'm crying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then they fucking like give me aftercare. You know what I mean? So like this song Posing for Cars, I think it's like almost 7 minutes long. It felt like that. And I was like, fuck, I forgot how it felt to have those like epic outros that will never make the radio, but you love so much that when you see the band and they play that full song in its entirety, like Death Cab used to play at Transatlanticism to end their set. And I would be like, what the fuck? They didn't end with like fucking their big songs like fucking Title and Registration. They didn't end with fucking what's another big like Crooked Teeth. They didn't end with those big singles. They end with Transatlanticism, a fucking track 12 on Transatlanticism that's 7 minutes long that's never gonna make the radio. That's what they close with. I miss that feeling. And Japanese Breakfast brings that back. And I think the big reason why sonically this album works because of it, regardless of how much variety's in it, is because you could tell she's just genuinely a fucking fan of these bands and these sounds. And it doesn't sound like she took from them. It sounds like she's just so heavily inspired by such a fucking wild or like wide palette of music. It's very relatable for someone like me who's a diehard indie pop fan but also listens to like hella other crazy shit and doesn't want to just make one sound. And it sounds honest, and that's what makes it cohesive. If it wasn't honest and it didn't come from Michelle Zauner, it wouldn't have made sense as a group of songs, you know? And I think this album also just shows how important sequencing is. Like when she has songs that sound like a specific sound, she doesn't stick them together and say, "Oh, this is the Death Cab section of the album." Because if you don't like Death Cab, you're probably gonna stop listening there. You know what I mean? She finds a way to like weave it all together. And in terms of like what you were asking, like meanings for songs, I think like the great thing about everything Japanese Breakfast writes, because she is like a Korean American, it always has like, much like Mitski, it's like, this is a love song, but from the perspective of a Korean American. You know what I mean? Like, our love songs won't sound the same as Phoebe Bridgers' love songs because she has no idea what it is to grow up with two different cultures pulling you at the seams. You know what I mean? And I think like her songs always kind of like explore that. But I think Jubilee is the album that focuses on it much less, but still is there. So like what I'm getting from the album is more of just like someone going through dating, you know what I mean? Or feeling alone. But then also realizing being with someone isn't the answer either. You know?
I see.
With a sense of it still coming from the lens of an Asian American woman, you know? So I don't think it's like super like, I don't think it's like super focused when it comes to the theme. Like, I don't think it's a concept album per se, but I think it's like songs that an Asian American woman would write in a situation where they're trying to find a partner, and when they do, it's not ideal anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
I see,
Yeah.
man. I mean, that's part of like one of the reasons why I like it too, because she is an Asian American woman, and
Mhm.
I feel like you don't really get to see. I mean, other than like what they consider K-pop or
Yeah.
foreign, you don't really have that many like Asian American artists. I feel like that I would
Yeah.
really know. And I guess it makes sense with what you're saying as far as like what you're getting out of it as far as meaning, because the title is Jubilee.
Mhm.
It's almost like a coming of age kind of like it seems
Yeah.
like a positive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely, man. And like, what? Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say about the Asian part.
Hmm. But
Great album.
great album, The Asian.
God, I
um,
forgot what I was gonna say. You keep going. What were you
well, I
gonna
was just gonna say, and as far as like the variety, touching upon what you said, like it feels genuine. Like I agree that it feels genuine, because even though I could say this sounds like this sounds like this sounds like this, like it doesn't feel like she stole it.
Yeah.
Unlike sometimes like Logic always uses that as an excuse, that is because I'm a fan of this. But no, I feel like you don't. You're a blank slate, and you're like you need this
Yeah.
as a crutch.
Right.
Like it comes more
Yeah.
genuine when like she probably grew up with these sounds. She internalized
Hmm.
them, that when she makes music, it just comes out.
Yeah. Facts, dude. And now I remember what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
because like the variety of sounds, right? Like you're
Yeah.
touching on like how like Logic just takes, right? And she was inspired by. And I think this is also like an example of how you could make an album that isn't like a fucking concept album, but still make it make sense together. Like, so it's sometimes we don't always need to have our To Pimp a Butterflies.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We don't always need to have like Soccer Mommy's Color Theory.
Yeah.
It doesn't and we don't need fucking we don't always need it to be Father John Misty's fucking comedy, or what was that, human
Dark
comedy or something like
comedy.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't always have to be such a like strict concept for a
Yeah.
piece of art to like make sense together and be impactful.
Uh-huh.
Sonically, thematically, you know what I mean? Like, as long as it comes from an earnest place and it's executed properly, that's all that fucking matters, dude.
Mm.
You know?
That's true.
And yeah, man, I'm such a big fan. It's crazy how much of a fan I am of that shit.
Yeah, I feel like this album, the more I listen to it, I don't know if it will take over the number one spot for me with who I have.
Uh-huh.
But it's definitely gonna stay in the top.
Yeah,
Amazing
I feel
album.
you. There's a couple albums that I'm anticipating the rest of the year that perhaps may overtake this, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
All right.
That's my number one. Shouts out Michelle Zauner and Japanese Breakfast. Also, the book that she wrote, Crying in H Mart. You know what H Mart is?
Is that like kind of like a or like a what's the word for it? A Walmart?
No, it's kind of like a Korean Asian supermarket.
Oh, I see.
It's a
I
really
see.
nice. It's like a really nice. Like me and my family, we go to H Mart all the time in San Jose.
Yeah.
It's like Asian Whole Foods, damn near. You know what I mean?
Man, all right.
And that book is all about just being a Korean American woman, and that actually got picked up, and it's going to be a movie.
Oh, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah, she's the shit, dude.
What?
Yeah, she's the shit.
Wow.
Japanese Breakfast, man. I'm
I'm
gonna
have
get
to
on
check
Dead
that out.
Oceans, bro. Dead Oceans is the best fucking label right now. Japanese Breakfast, Mitski, Phoebe Bridgers, White Hinterland. Like, come on, man. This is the
Awesome,
best
dude.
fucking label out right now. Shout out Dead Oceans.
Well, you heard
I'm
it
trying to be
here
on
first. You heard it here first. All right, man. Well, good pick for number one, man. I'm definitely
it. Pick for number two, man.
Yeah, thank you. I'm definitely gonna spend more time listening to that. But for my number one, it's same thing with the variety thing, right? This was actually recommended to me by a friend who's really deep into this person. Whenever he sends me a recommendation, I was like, I'm probably gonna like this, like 99% at a time.
Stop being so nice to talk about me like that, man. I'm
Well,
just
you
kidding.
too. Same thing with your
No, I'm just
recommendations.
playing.
But this person is just like someone who usually finds the most what's the word for it? when someone's like obscure. Sometimes
Mhm.
he can just find the most obscure music out there, and he's a little bit younger than us. So a lot of times I feel like he's
I
more.
know who this is.
Yeah, it's Trevor. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I would listen to anything he recommends as well.
right, because it's
Yeah,
gonna be like way out there, and he's it's any genre. He listens to almost
right.
every genre, but this album is called Entertainment Death by Spirit of the Beehive.
Ooh, okay. Spirit of
So
the Beehive. I'm writing this down right
yeah,
now.
I think you're gonna like them too, man. Because like starts off, I'm hearing like noise, drums, randomness. It's like this is chaotic. I was like, all right, I see what this is gonna be. This like gonna be like Death Grips, right? Completely wrong. You know, they start
Really?
off with like aggressive, like jarring shit,
Hmm.
and then they go into like a like some like delayed guitars, you
Oh
know,
shit.
setting up like this really cool atmosphere. But then it
Hmm.
switches, and then you hear like some guitars, you know, and it starts to sound kind of like Blur in a way,
Oh
slash
shit.
Sandy Alex G, and that's just the first song.
Holy shit.
And the lyrics are so short for the first song. I'll just read them to you, right? I
Okay.
guess like this album, the way I'm kind of like I'm interpreting it based on like I feel like it relates to me so much. So the first song is called Entertainment, and when
Mhm.
the vocals finally go on, it says, "I woke up when I heard the blow, heading east towards KSMO. 16 wheelers passing too close. Dust picks up and swallows us whole. It's all right, forget it." And it to me
Shit.
that already feels like that's my environment right now,
That's
you know.
crazy. Yeah.
And then the second verse, I regret some choices I've made. Entertainment only remains while I keep descending. Who will decipher pain from the lie? With every decision faced and finalized, I keep descending and no one remembers my face, my name.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like that's some deep shit, and I feel like that's the same thing. Based off of that, when I read that, I was like, okay, entertainment death. I feel like it's you're living your life, this monotonous life, and it's like it feels like it's swallowing you whole. And what we have is this like just entertainment, a barrage of
Yeah.
entertainment that
Yeah.
keeps coming and going to the point when like it almost like feels like we're already dead,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting from this album, where like I don't think it's much of a challenge to listen to it. It will just throw you off because they're kind of like segues into things. They're what do you call that? They're just like their transitions will make you feel like you're kind of on acid or like
Holy
psychedelics.
shit.
Where like the music itself, once you finally see what like the main core of the song is, like it doesn't sound psychedelic at all. It's just the
Yeah.
transitions in between them make you feel like you're going on this
Mm.
weird trip. And then I also think you'd like them a lot because like I said, I mentioned they sound like Blur, like Alex G. The transitions can sound like Death Grips from time to time. Um, the second song, and there's like two singers. There's a guy and a girl. It's not like they're amazing singers, but like it's like kind of like what you get in like a band.
Yeah.
The second song kind of sounds like the more recent MGMT.
Oh,
Um,
sick.
and like that song just like has that like loop guitar, it feels like it's not changing, but then the song just keeps kind of ramping up. Then the drums kick in and it's like faster. Um, and like they're just use of like regular instruments, samples all put together, just like sounds so well. We're like what I explained with the beginning, right? It's like, man, there's all these crazy things going on, and then they put in a string sample that sounded like it came from like Luna Lee.
Oh, word.
So they're just pulling
Yeah.
so many um like sounds, and at the same
Hmm.
time it feels cohesive. You feel like there's a spirit, the beehive, but I feel like their sound is almost like an ego death kind of experience where like they're not trying to go for a sound.
Yeah.
They just are able to exist in this space where like they don't have the boundary. They're undefined almost.
Oh,
Not
shit.
as undefined as Death Grips.
Yeah.
It's still reels you in and has like songs you probably really like, you know. Because I wrote it here too. What you might really like, called "Wrong Circle," because it sounds kind of like a Postal Service / Fan Modine song put together.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
Oh shit!
I think if I'm torn between like putting the first song or this song into the mix, because like you're gonna listen to it, you know.
Like, fuck.
Bad Son sounds like Home Shake, and it seems like they just have a lot of My Bloody Valentine influences there.
That's sick.
Just when I first listened to this, I was like, "This is good." Didn't, you know, I listened to it, didn't spend too much time on it, but then when I was barbecuing not too long ago,
You heard yourself?
no, that's not the time. Yeah. That wasn't even barbecue. That was just like oil. So
Oh,
when I
okay.
was barbecuing, just grilling something, that's when I had time to
You guys
listen.
been barbecuing hella.
Yeah,
at your
yeah.
That's hella funny to me. You guys are going through like a Google Foods phase.
Yeah, we are. Dude. It doesn't. I feel like the result is never this like Google Foods, but you know.
Let's do it.
Let's do
You just
it.
be, let's do it. Okay, sorry.
But I gotta say, I think this is my number one because, like I said, the variety they put their influences on their sleeve. At the same time, their theme like really relates to me, where like it feels like you're in this grind. You're just gonna be forgotten for the most part, you know. Like a lot of people feel that way. But yeah, it just feels like the experience, you know. Like it's an album that I will keep coming back to. And I feel like whenever I go back to it, I'm not just gonna listen to like a song individually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen from top to the last, you know, from the first track till the last. It's like it's way better to listen to it that way. And it definitely scores highly because of that, you know, like replayability and the fact that I'm gonna consume it in its entirety of how you envision your listener to listen to it. You know, I'm not just gonna pick a song here or there. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I love it, man. I think you're gonna like it too. So
I'm definitely gonna check it out, man. You said Spirit of the Beehive.
yeah,
Have you heard of a group called Jockstrap before?
yes, you showed them to me,
Like-
and I was gonna
Oh, I
say,
did?
yeah, it kind of gives me that vibe too, as far as their
Oh, okay,
transitions.
cool.
Where
Yeah.
like you wrote a song with like when I write a song, it was like, oh, maybe I need like 2-3 transitions here for the chords and stuff like that. This is just like, you know, like
We're transitioning into something completely fucking different.
yeah. So
Yeah, because like when you were explaining it, I was like, I think maybe Jockstrap might be the right like vibe there,
yeah.
where it's like,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say it was Jockstrap. I think would have been like the comparable vibe, maybe.
Mhm. I think so.
So
I think you're on the nose on that one.
Okay, sick. So I'll definitely be into it because listening to Jockstrap, I just found out about them this year, which
Yeah.
sucks because their album came out last year. If I were to re-rank my albums, their album from last year would have made it on my top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Like, so if it's like that same vibe, I definitely want to check that out.
Sick, man. Sick. And that's my number one.
Hell yeah, that's the number one, man. I think, dude, in spite of all this, I felt like this year was slow with music. We
It
still got
was.
some good. We still got some good shit, and we were able to have good conversation about it. You
We
know?
did, yeah. I mean, because I think you and will always be listening to music no matter what,
Yeah.
you know? And just,
Facts.
and like, again, like I was saying, like, I always feel as if, like, man, I'm not listening to enough music. And it's not even that. It's because, like, especially now that we're doing this podcast, you know, like, we would rank it.
Yeah.
We just don't really usually listen to, like, the music that came out that year.
That year.
We
Yeah.
just keep going back to deep cuts, you know?
I hate that, like, all the time, the year after, I'll find out about something and I'll be like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like that PJ Morton album that I was saying earlier, like that R&B album, it's literally like, that would have been top 5 maybe if I would have known it came out that year. Jockstrap, that would have been top 10 if I knew that
Yeah,
came out
dude.
last year. You know what I mean? I was even like kind of late to fucking Punisher. Like Punisher came out in June. I didn't start listening to it until August. And it like now that I've had even more time with it, if I'm re-ranking last year, Punisher might be like, I don't know. I don't think you could beat Color Theory for Soccer Mommy for me, but Punisher's like right there.
Yeah.
So like fucking Tops would have moved down one, Tennis would have moved down one, because that's how much I love Punisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, dude, I wish I was like super like keen to listen to new music as it comes out all the time, like an Anthony Fantano does. I just don't have the fucking stamina for that shit. You know what I mean? I'd be
Me
like so
neither.
burnt out.
I also feel like when I would find new artists that's current, it's usually based off of like through other tastemakers, through
Yeah.
reviews. And I feel
Mhm.
like I kind of slowed down on listening to other people's opinions when it comes to music.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even though I'm a huge fan of Dead End Hip Hop and Fantano, like for Dead
Yeah.
End Hip Hop, I just go to them for like other stuff now.
Yeah. You
New.
did show me my favorite rapper in the world right now
Oh
because of
yeah,
Dead End Hip
because of
Hop.
them. Yeah.
YNJ, if y'all ain't heard YNJ, he's the fucking future. I'm the biggest fan of YNJ, bro. I will always listen to, and thank you for listening to Dead End Hip Hop, because that put me on. Because like you, I've also slowed down on that, and I made it
Mm,
a rule the past few years that I don't even listen to any. I mute, like I subscribe to Fantano and Dead
mm,
End Hip Hop and all that, but I mute them until I get to the end of the year,
yeah.
and I make my list, and then I'll listen to it, because I don't want them to
Yeah.
sully my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't want. I realized a lot of my lists early on were like regurgitating Pitchfork, regurgitate. You know what I mean? And it's like
Mm.
I want to make my opinions first and then listen to them. You know what I mean? Because I love
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way, man. Because like I listen to a lot of reviews when it comes to movies or shows, but if it's something I'm looking forward to seeing, like I'm not gonna watch it. I only would like listen to stuff now that I know I would not watch or won't give a chance. So there
Right.
maybe they could change my mind,
Right.
or if I already like an album, then
Mhm.
or if I already listen to an album and I have my own opinion, then maybe listening to somebody would make me appreciate it more.
Yeah. Or
Um,
challenge your
or
own
challenge
opinion.
my own
Yeah.
opinion, or
Yeah.
maybe if I don't have a strong opinion, maybe someone else can help me like have more appreciation for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as content, I feel like that I watch and stuff right now, it's mostly like I don't know, reaction videos and stuff like that more than reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here, man. Like I like even with like video games and shit, I definitely like I'm gonna beat it first and then I'll watch the review. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so I could at least the games I care about at least, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, man. But it's good that we were still able to not only get 10 albums in, but actually talk about a lot of them. So that's really dope.
Yeah. Yeah, we did about 3 hours, man.
Hey man, slightly better than last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, dude, when we do that 20, it's gonna be a 5 hour.
I know, right? That's gonna be long. Hey, sometimes longer streams are better.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
Yeah.
we just got to know that's part of our end of year fucking cycle. We're gonna have to hunker down one night and do 5 hours, bro.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
And I look forward, again, I said this at the beginning of the podcast, and hopefully this podcast could be the start of us getting back to like being music centric as the Smash Bros season starts to close, as a lot of our big streams start to end. Like, you're almost done with Final Fantasy X, we're almost done with 9, we're almost done with or we just finished a Spooky Dookie Boys one. We're just gonna wrap up this one. Hopefully we could then be like, all right, yo, like it's time to fucking like put your album out. We got to start working on the Wave Gang album. You know what I mean? I got to stop
Yeah.
lagging on these music videos. And this, hopefully, us doing this music podcast is starting to like guide us towards being again more of a music channel, because we're doing only games right now on here.
Yeah.
And we got to start doing more music shit, man.
I know, right?
That's what people knew us for in the beginning, you know.
That's
And now
true.
we got to, and now we have like I feel like this music community, and we have our gaming community. Now we got to try to have them.
Yeah, man.
Fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So hopefully that's what we can start doing. We can start streaming us making the album, streaming us just like fucking doing more like music critiques. Like maybe we even can start to do like song breakdowns like we used to, man. Like,
That'd be sick, man.
and like we need that. So, you know, it was fun talking to you about the music. I always love doing this, even if no one watches this motherfucker. But
I know,
people do watch
man.
it. But people do watch it on YouTube. So this is going on YouTube.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was fun doing this, man.
Yeah, man, and like especially that you're gonna get your gaming laptop soon.
Oh yeah,
It'd be sick to do more because we could share files and stuff like that through Streamlabs. That I think we could have a way. Because I don't know if you saw like me putting the numbers up, right? You
yeah, I
see
did. I
that?
see it over here. That shit's crazy.
So I think what we could do while still keeping it a secret to us, because we could work on the same files, is that the day
Make the
of,
scenes. Make the scenes.
make the scenes and actually show like the
Album
name,
cover.
the album cover, and
Yeah.
the name of the so like you can prepare your side, I prepare my side, and yeah, dude, sick man.
That'd be sick as fuck. I would love that, man. So we should definitely do that. For the end of the year special. Hopefully we could do that too. Well, I don't know. Maybe not this time for the mid year, but I know we're trying to have Zanny and Fetty come on and do
Yeah.
games and movies. And I know they probably can't do a top 10, but at least talk about the biggest games that you like this year, or biggest movies from this year. So hopefully that's coming soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And yeah, let us know if we miss any albums we should be listening to.
Definitely.
And the other thing that I don't know, we'll see too, because maybe we could even do that like in person instead of like over Discord.
Yeah, that would probably be better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know, especially once my album's done, that's all out of the way. I feel like we gotta, we're slowly building what this channel is really about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the podcasting was something we were doing really well at on YouTube, on SoundCloud. We just didn't keep up with it. That it would be sick, man. YouTube podcasting is one of the biggest things,
Yeah.
for a while now. So yeah,
Yeah, man. We should at the very least do something like monthly.
yeah.
Just
Album
like a
reviews,
roundup.
man.
Yeah.
Album reviews.
I would
or
love
just- yeah.
album reviews, tier lists, all the stuff that we were talking about before. We got to
Yeah.
try to get it back, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because on repeat, it started off with just music, but it's pretty much like just entertainment, like music,
Yeah.
video games,
Yep.
movies.
Yeah, man. Maybe we should try to have like, if we could do it all in person again. Remember when we used to have like me, you, James, and Vec, and we would have
Yeah.
like a soundboard. That was definitely fun, man. We should do those again and just have like a monthly roundup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I feel like the same, what we'll be using would be the same setup for holographic sessions. So
Exactly, bro. Like we could literally just holographic session it.
yeah, let's do
The
it.
infrastructure is already there. You already did it,
Exactly.
man. It's crazy. Well, dude, this was hella fun, man. I'm
was
really
fun.
stoked that we did this. I always look forward to this, and it always gives me a reason to stay current with music, which I think every person that considers them even remotely a musician, you should always like
Oh,
know what's going on. Doesn't mean you have to sound like it. Just know what's going on. Stay in
Yeah.
touch with what's happening in the fucking world, you know? So I love doing this. We also, like we said, we're gonna make playlists of our top 10 so far on Spotify. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll put that in the link in the description on YouTube. And yeah, well, where can they find you, Dark Ruffalo?
You guys can find me at the Holographic Children on IG, and of course the WGWTV Twitch channel, as well as King Kong Fatty's channel on Twitch.
Yeah. Any other streams that you do that you want to plug at all?
Yeah, so I'm about to finish Final Fantasy X this coming Thursday.
This week, I can't
This
wait, bro.
week, man. So yeah, it's gonna. It's got you think I will finish it, right? Like based on. where
I
I'm
think
at?
so. I think so. I really do think so.
Yeah, and I feel
It
like
might be like a long stream. Like you might have to go like three and a half.
Oh, yeah.
But I think you'll do it.
that's fine. That's fine. That
Yeah.
I like doing long streams up to 3.
You have to
hours.
promise me something,
What?
because you are the best streamer we have, right? Like you and the
Oh,
chat.
thank you, man.
You have this thing with the chat, and you're so fucking good at it.
Hey,
But I need you to promise me something.
what?
During all the cutscenes in your next stream, do not talk to the chat. Like just
All right, I
just
won't.
watch the scenes and feel the scenes, please.
I will.
And I don't think tempo in them. I don't think they'll try to hijack. They
Yeah.
want you to experience the game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They wouldn't be. They would like tempo. Probably feels as strongly as I do about this game because he just wants someone to experience the game the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
experienced. Like I respect that shit. You know what I mean? Like I get why he comes every single Thursday and
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
gives you pointers because I want you to feel the way I did. You know what I mean? I want
Yeah.
you to see how fucking amazing this fucking game is. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he's gonna say the same thing, but please just watch the
I
cutscenes
promise.
because
I
me
promise.
and Sean we're talking about not trash doming next Thursday, and we're just gonna watch your stream like a movie,
All
so we could
right.
all cry. So we could all cry together.
Yeah, man. No, I definitely feel like during the cutscenes, I do feel like, damn, there are certain cutscenes where it didn't hit me as hard just because like I was talking to chat.
Yeah,
Um, and I was trying to like make an effort to be better at that, man. Because
you are getting better at it. You know what I
thank
mean?
you, thank you.
You're just so good at streaming, bro. Like me and James say it all the time. We're like, fuck, dude, we need to make sure we like learn from bro because when we do Spooky Dookie Mondays, sometimes we're just like dudes talking to each other playing video games instead of like fucking being in the
Mm.
chat. You're like the best at that shit, bro.
Hey,
So
thanks, man. I think it's because I'm on my own when I do this
yeah,
that like the
that's true.
other only thing I could talk to is chat, you know, or myself. So
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's when there's other people, you engage more with them. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I gotta try streaming on my own. Every stream I do, like Sundays, even though that's like my stream that I run,
yeah.
it's like Sean and Cammy. On Mondays, I don't even run that stream. James runs that stream. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And then Tuesdays I run it, but that's like the league.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
So
I would say like you are also really good at talk to chat, especially on Wigwag Wednesdays. You know,
yeah, yeah.
I feel like when you talk to chat, it's just much more I don't know,
But
you
that's
just
because I'm
seem
not.
really enthusiastic with it, you know?
Hell yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. But that's because I have no control over that stream. You know what I
I
mean?
see.
Like I'm not playing the game or like trying
Yeah.
to I'm just like Confetti's doing everything, so I'm free to look at the chat. You are doing everything. Like you're troubleshooting, playing the game,
Uh,
connecting with chat all at once. That shit blows my mind, man. It's
well,
crazy.
I gotta say, I feel like Final Fantasy X is a blessing with that, and just like strategy games, if that's what you're saying, what's going well with my stream, I feel like that moment of like, oh, it's not active like time
Yeah.
based, like so I
Yeah.
can like take my time. But I'll definitely be playing more Final Fantasy games on the channel. I just kind of want
Like
to see like how Sekiro would do
I'm
because
stoked for that too.
yeah, and I feel like the way I'm I feel like the way I'm using Twitch, it's like an accountability thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, now I have to finish this game. You're like, I'm here
Yeah.
for them, you know?
Yeah. Dude, like how many years like like I've been ducking watching endings,
hmm
right? But after my therapist in 2016 suggested that I did it, I've been on this like journey
Yeah.
beating all the games that I used to and watching the endings of all the games I used to beat when I was like a kid.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But I wouldn't watch. And Cammy was always like the Cammy was the one that was like I was doing it with, and the idea was, oh, I'm showing her the game so I could
Mm.
watch this now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that we're running out of those games, I'm hoping that my Sunday streams are going to be the reason why I have to watch the ending because it would be so
Yeah.
fucked up to the chat if they go through this entire experience with me and not get to see the ending of it, like my
Exactly.
reaction to it. So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen because me and Cammy have damn near already completed all the games that I beat when I was younger.
Mm.
It's been a wild journey.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, stoked for that on Thursday, man.
I am too, man, and I'm stoked for more things to come, especially with see another accountability thing. We're gonna show you how we make music, just so we'll make more music, you know?
Exactly, bro. We're gonna actually do this Wave Gang album correctly because we're gonna
Yes,
do it on stream. It's gonna be fun.
exactly.
And then we're gonna have all the people that were featured, like when Ojgod comes to produce with us.
That'd be sick,
I'm just,
man.
dude, I'm stoked. I can't wait. Can't wait.
All right, well, we've been talking for like 3 hours now.
No, you're right. Let me close it out. You can find me at medium37frank with a C on IG. You can find me at WGWWFrankie with a KIE on Twitter. I stream on this channel Sundays, Final Fantasy 9 with Sean Vondersex and Cammy. I stream on this channel Mondays with Zandy DeVito doing Spooky Dookie Boys, and this week with Dark Ruffalo because we need to redo the fucking
Oh
last
yeah,
chapter
I
of
forgot about
fucking
that.
Corpse Party. We're gonna do exactly all the opposite decisions we did last Monday, and we'll see where that gets us. Tuesday, I don't have a match, but it's Super Trash Bros Tuesday, and it's Wild Card Week, so it's the first real matches of the
Yeah.
playoffs. We're gonna see Adam Caliente versus Jesse Kitty Clap. The fucking Holy Matrimony Challenge 3 is happening in the playoffs. So not only is it a rivalry match, it's also a playoff match. Whoever wins that match will face me in the next round. On the other side, it's going to be Heitman the Naughty Dog Wolfie versus Dark Ruffalo in the wild card match in an all fuckboy fellowship wild card match. Dark Ruffalo, I hope you do well on Tuesday, my man.
I hope so too, man. I hope so
So
too.
that way you get another shot at King Kong Fetty, because if you win, you have to face King Kong
Yeah.
Fetty.
Oh, straight
Oh
right away, right?
no, not that same night. It's next week.
Yeah, but listen, like that would be my next match after if I win.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you beat Wolfie, it's gonna be Fetty. Yeah.
Damn. All right, all right. I'll be
Maybe
practicing.
you could. Maybe you could use less GMO
Yeah,
characters
maybe.
against Fetty this time. I don't think in the playoffs he's gonna choose random. You know.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Oh man, so that's a big match. And then Wednesday, twitch.tv/King Kong Fetty for Wave Gang Wednesdays. It's actually our 1 year anniversary
That's right.
coming Wednesday. So we're gonna be playing a variety of Mario games. We're gonna be drinking. We're just gonna be talking about our favorite moments of Wave Gang Wednesday from the past year. We've been doing it from the week I had to skip because I was getting surgery to the week Zanny was fucking wasted as fuck because he was going through a breakup and just ruined the ending of To the Moon for me. To the legendary Christopher Walken meets Christopher Walken
Oh
night.
yeah, that's right.
Oh my god, we've had some fucking bangers on Wave Gang Wednesday,
have,
and
man.
again, if it wasn't for King Kong Fetty, this channel wouldn't be possible either. So big shout out to King Kong Fetty and everybody that's at that kingdom. In terms of fucking shit coming out, Dark Ruffalo here has an album coming out in July
That's right.
called Party Hat.
Party hat.
Can't wait. I had a tiny part in it in helping create it, but this is the best album he's put out. It might be the best
thank
album that
you.
any Wave Gang person put out at all. And then we're gonna work on that Wave Gang album, man. So
Yeah,
everybody
man.
stay tuned.
And I mean, I can't let you say that and not say that about your own album, man.
Stop it, dog.
Come on,
That's old news now.
2255
2255
Check it out, man.
All platforms, over 30,000 streams. I can't
Yeah,
believe that
dude.
shit. Still. That's not a lot to most people, but that's a lot to me, man. So thank you guys. And we're gonna do the Call Me Beat Me video this month or next month. I swear to God, I keep pushing it back, but we're gonna do it.
We're
gonna do it.
We'll do it.
It's gonna be out this summer, so it's gonna be cool, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys for sticking with us. Hopefully,
Thank you.
you agree with our list, and if not, go fight us, man. Go fight us.
Yeah,
in the
fight
chat.
us in the comments.
In the
In the comments, tell us that
yeah.
we suck.
Mhm.
Tell us that we suck, man.
And then just
But
go.
then
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but also listen to the Spotify playlist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, listen to the Spotify playlist, even if you do it in spite, so that you have ammo against us. All right. All right. Well, we're signing off here. You guys have a good night.
Oh yeah, you know what they say at the On Repeat podcast. Zip it up and zip